Brian Craig, and of course, this is where MAGA comes to talk. You know, what possessed Joe Biden to call Trump supporters, which is at least 100 million Americans, garbage? What possessed him to do that? I'm going to talk about that a lot on the program today and take your calls. You know, the thing about Biden doing this, if you go back through the history of President Trump, from the time he came down the escalator until the Hannity interview last night on Fox, you never hear President Trump insult voters. He never insults the American people, ever. In fact, he wants to be the president of all Americans, not just the ones who believe as he does or votes for him, like Biden and Harris. So what was Joe Biden thinking? And I got a bit of a theory on that, which you can let me know in the chat. If you're watching live, yes or no, if you agree with this. If not, let me know in the comments. Is Joe Biden trying to sabotage Kamala Harris? You know, he's pissed off. Believe me, Joe Biden is plenty pissed off that they had this coup and pushed him out of the candidacy. In his mind, he would have won re-election against Kamala Harris, and he is pissed off about that. He does not want Kamala Harris to win. He and Jill hate Kamala Harris. Remember what happened in that second debate in the last campaign. Remember, Kamala came in. She had one good debate. She came in there and brought up all these racist things of Biden, who was having a very bad night cognitively, and it was pretty brutal. Believe me, they have not forgotten about that. So, is Joe Biden trying to sabotage Kamala Harris? I would say yes. You know, she's doing so poorly in all the polls, okay? She's losing everywhere. She's losing everywhere, including not just every battleground state, but Virginia's tied right now. She's losing in demographics that they take for granted, the youth vote, blacks, Hispanics, all that. And Joe Biden, who's got a lot of regret leaving Washington after over half a century, going out, being forced out, being kicked out, being fired, having a coup, and he's just not going to let the person who was behind that, Kamala Harris, have any chance whatsoever. So far as an October surprise, a lot of people calling this an October surprise, I think this is Joe Biden's October surprise against Kamala Harris. What do you think? Let me know in the comments or in the live chat. Yes or no, do you agree with that? We'll be live on the air in about 25 minutes taking calls. A listener sent me a brand new paperback version of The Art of the Deal. I've not read this book in quite some time. And whoever sent this to me, thank you very much. I will definitely be reading this book. You know, Hannity did a great interview last night with President Trump, which I'm going to talk about as well. But this deportation, this invasion, this occupation, all these things that are going on in this country right now that President Trump's going to end. He's going to end the occupation. He's going to do the deportations. He's going to shut down the border. He's going to finish the wall, all this stuff. I'm reading a very good book. Let me make sure I get the author right. He's one of my favorite historical writers. He's long gone. He's written a lot of books. Yeah, I want to get his name right. There's a historical writer who's passed away many years ago. He's written a lot of great history books that I've read. His name is Walter Lord. He wrote the original big book on the Titanic, A Night to Remember. I've read a book of his on Dunkirk, the Battle of Midway. And I'm reading this book now that Walter Lord wrote about the Alamo, A Time to Stand. And it's amazing how timely this book about the Alamo is today. Because you remember Texas was part of, of Mexico at the time, and the Alamo was a battle in the War of Texan Independence, and Texas, which was a part of Mexico. The Mexicans, a lot of Americans were immigrating to Mexico to live it, to set up shop, set up a life in Texas, and they realized that so many Americans were coming that Mexico wasn't going to be Mexico anymore. And Mexico passed all these immigration laws. You had to swear allegiance to Mexico. You had to become Catholic. You had to speak Spanish. And they even, and that didn't slow things down. So many they were afraid they were going to lose their country and their culture because all these Americans were immigrating to Mexico and Texas. And right as they were doing many other things, but right before the War of Texan Independence began, they passed a law you couldn't immigrate to Mexico from from a country that bordered Mexico, which meant the United States. And Mexico, what they're trying to do now is take America, in their mind, back. They think so much of America is U.S.-occupied Mexican territory, California, Texas, and the Southwest. And it's fantastic to read this book and how timely it is today. But all that is going to end 1 week from today. Hopefully it'll be announced. It'll be official. I hope to come to you next Wednesday morning and announce the victory. Hey, what's up?
How are you?
All right.
Here's your live reads.
Okay, cool.
And then...
Okay, 6, 7, 8, and that's 8:30.
8:27.
Okay. I might not do them at those exact times, but I'll do them within the hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
And then, do you want to do this or do you want me?
Yeah, I'll start it because it's a little early.
Either way. You can
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Let's see. All right. That's Jeremy. He's filling in for Mike. The board out Mike, I think, is back tomorrow. He went to New York for the World Series. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Now, here's another thing, too. This thing that Kamala did yesterday in Washington, her closing argument, like all of a sudden she's a lawyer. Still, we're less than a week away from the election. We haven't seen any photographs or video of Kamala Harris in a courtroom arguing a case in front of a jury. Why is that? I don't think she argued a case in front of a jury. We'd see at least still photos or video of it to help promote her, and they haven't shown that, so I don't think she ever did. But what she did yesterday was insane. She does what they call a rally, right, in D.C., and what do? They fill it up with people. They say it's the largest, 100,000, it's the largest thing. It was all the government workers in D.C., the liberal bureaucracy, that are afraid that President Trump, when he comes in and Elon Musk starts cutting the waste, they're all going to lose their job. So they hold it in the National Mall. They let everybody off work, and they say, hey, meet us in the National Mall. I wouldn't be surprised if they got paid, if they were still on the clock. And they're so stupid. Kamala Harris's desperate, pathetic campaign, they're so stupid. They don't understand when the American people see 100,000 or however many were there of government workers, we're like, what the freak is that? How many do they have? It pisses people off. It pisses people off to see all these freeloading bums with their bureaucracy jobs in the federal government. I don't know what they were thinking. And they're trying to pass that off as some organic Kamala Harris rally. They just let, everybody left work and went out to the National Mall. That's it. These people are out of their minds. They have, the Democrats, what we're seeing here is the end of the Democrat Party as we know it. I mean, there's, like the Whigs, these parties fade away, and we're seeing that happen. And due to a lot of things. But one of the things that the Democrats have done and they're too arrogant and stupid to know it, is they've lost touch with the pulse of the American people. They've lost touch with the pulse of the American people. The Democrats have, back in the Kennedy and the Clinton era, the Democrats had a grip and a feel of the pulse of the American people. They understood what the American people wanted, what they expected, what they wouldn't accept, what they didn't want, and whether or not they were doing it or not, they would at least pretend to pacify the American people because they knew where the heart and minds of the American people were. Now they have no idea. They let 100,000 government workers come in the national. That just pisses people the freak off. You know, I'm sorry. Hey, she could not have made her final argument in a better way for Donald Trump. And, you know, I'm going to ask this question on the radio, and I hope to get a Democrat to call in. We'll be taking live calls when we get on the air, which will be about 15 or 20 minutes when the radio show starts, and you can call me. And I'm hoping to get some calls on this. What agenda is Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party running on? Really, what's the agenda? You know, President Trump's agenda is right here on this hat. Make America great again. And you know his whole platform. I don't have to make the list of the platform right now, right? But what is the Democrat doing? The Democrat Party doing? They're not looking to make America great again. They're looking to organize the downfall of America. The Democrats are saying, vote for Kamala, vote for us. We want to dismantle America. I got a call on the air yesterday from a liberal guy in Chicago, and I had to dump him because he used profanity on the radio. You can't do that. He called the United States an a-hole country. He said the whole word, an a-hole country. He said, this a-hole country. What kind of person lives in America and thinks that about, this is the greatest country, okay? This is the greatest country in the world. Everything about it is great. And we're not garbage. I'm so glad that Biden said that. You know, the powers that be are in a panic because they're losing control, okay? The mainstream fake news legacy media are irrelevant. They have no juice. They have no influence, right? You know, people like me have more people listening and watching us than the national media. That's just the reality of it. They have no influence. They have no juice. And the permanent Washington class, which is what Tucker Carlson calls them, they're losing power. You know, when Elon Musk comes in and says he's going to cut how much? $2 trillion or $3 trillion? Was it $3? Elon Musk says he's going to cut $3 trillion right off the board of government waste. $3 trillion. And President Trump told Hannity last night, when Elon Musk does that, no one's even going to notice in the country. It's not going to affect it. Was it 2 or 3? It doesn't matter. It's, you know, 2 or 3. $1 trillion, just $1 trillion, is more money than the human mind can comprehend. So say they cut $2 trillion, even 1, and no one notices. That panics those government workers that were outside in the National Mall with Kamala, because they're afraid that, you know, that's their money. That's what they tell themselves. That's our money that Elon's cutting. This is the money that we steal from the government and to make ourselves and our families rich. And not only are they going to do that, they're going to cut taxes at the same time. This is their worst nightmare. It's a lot. It's a lot. Someone said just raise taxes. That's obviously someone that doesn't pay taxes. Oh. The amount, you know, when Elon Musk goes in and starts cutting government waste, and people, and then we start finding out, because what Elon Musk will do is not only, he's not just going to cut things, we're going to find out what he's cutting, and people are going to be shocked at what they're spending money on, wasting money on. the hard-earned money that they're taking from the American taxpayer. Oh, this is really an amazing time we're in. It's an amazing time we're in, and I got to tell you, Sean Hannity did a great job in that interview last night, didn't he? Did you guys catch the interview? It was a great interview. I was really impressed with the whole interview. He did a great job. Hannity was at that press event at Mar-a-Lago yesterday morning. Oh yeah, this is great. Now, if you're new, make sure you subscribe to my channel. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And I'll be live on the radio in about 10 minutes or so. And when the radio show starts, I'll still stream here on YouTube. We'll take live calls from people that are listening to us on the radio, as well as watching on YouTube and on other places and platforms and stuff. And I take all the calls screenless. You don't have to agree with me to call. I'd love a Democrat to call in and tell me what the platform is of the Democrats today. Why are they vote for us because of this? And it can't be anti-Trump. That's not a reason. They've got to be offering something. And I think the Democrat agenda is to dismantle America. That's it, to dismantle America. That's the Democrat agenda. Right? What else would it be? I mean, do you guys agree with that? What else could it be? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Why? Hey, I'm laughing too because it's great. I mean, we're a week away from not just America being saved, but Western civilization. President Trump is coming to make America great again, save America, but also save Western civilization. An empty pantsuit, yeah. I mean, didn't it piss you off to see all those government workers come out there and cheer on? They're supposed to be public servants working for us. Ireland, welcome. We'll make Ireland great again too. The entire English-speaking world. When I talk about Western civilization, I'm talking about the English-speaking world, for the most part, with some, exceptions. Mm-hmm. Oh no, this is exciting. Yep, save Western civilization. That's correct. Heard some banging back there. Yeah, we'll be on the radio in about 10 minutes. Well, I'm not surprised that someone who calls themselves Powder Puff in the chat is nervous. With a name like that, how can you how can you be Trump tough? Mm-hmm. Thank you to whoever sent me this copy of The Art of the Deal. Any of you read? I read this book in his first term, and this is a great paperback version of it. This is they got a quote from President Trump on the back of The Art of the Deal, right? I like thinking big. I always have. To me, it's very simple. If you're going to be thinking anyway, you might as well think big. That's a good quote from Donald Trump, isn't it? Chicago Tribune. Donald Trump is a deal maker. He is a deal maker the way lions are carnivores and water is wet. This is before he came down the escalator, right? I'm looking forward to reading this again. Of course, The Art of the Political Deal will be his book after he leaves the White House. That's right. #1 national bestseller. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. St. Louis, welcome. Oh no, things are not going well for Kamala Harris at all. At all. Things are going very poorly for Kamala Harris. I mean, this is This is going to be the biggest Republican victory since 1984. Mm-hmm. You need a Trump in Britain. I thought you had one, but you don't. Judy in West Palm Beach, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hugh in the UK, welcome to you. Oh, yes. Virginia's in play. It sure is. It most definitely is in play. No doubt about that. Things are going to. I mean, things could not be going better than they're going for Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the deal is in Australia. I watch Sky News in Australia, which is very conservative. They follow all the American MAGA news. A lot of people in Australia have their heads on straight. I don't know what's going on down there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Trumplicans, that's right. But now Joe Biden says we're garbage. Class act, Joe Biden. We're garbage. He's the one with the cocaine in the White House. His son with the hookers and the drugs and all of that. But we're garbage? My goodness. He's Joe Biden is most definitely sabotaging Kamala Harris. There's no doubt in my mind that he is sabotaging Kamala Harris. Mm-hmm. Good morning to everyone. Welcome to the stream. If you are new, make sure you subscribe. We'll be on the radio in just a few minutes. If you would like to call in, the number's toll-free no matter where you're watching. The number is pinned in the live chat. But if you're already subscribed, please like the video. Liking the video helps a lot, guys. It really does. Helps more than you know. Will Kamala have a cooking show? Yeah, she might be the next Food Network star. What happens with vice presidents when they lose elections, they fade away. You really don't hear from them too much. She'll probably, I would not be surprised if Kamala does not become like the president of her national sorority or something. That seems to be all she cares about is cooking. Although I haven't heard anyone who's eaten her cooking talk about it, and her sorority. Her racially segregated sorority. One of the Divine Nine, as she calls it. Can't believe people in 2024 like Kamala Harris are bragging about being in a racially segregated organization. You have to be black to be a member of it. That's discrimination. Go back to McDonald's. She's never worked at McDonald's. She could start there. Mm-hmm. Oh, Hulk Hogan's awesome. He lives here in Florida. He lives up in the West Coast. Everybody dances to the YMCA. Everybody dances to that. Everybody loves that song. The Village People. Why don't you like the Village People? Because they're gay? You homophobic? I saw them once in a club play, the original Village People. They did their whole act. There was no stage. They did their whole little concert with all their hit songs on the bar. It was pretty cool. Yeah. If you're on hold, hang in there. People are already on hold. The show hasn't started yet, but we will be live in just a couple of minutes. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's going to be an exciting. I got so much to cover on the show today. Oh, boy. Lots to cover. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people are saying she worked at McDonald's. Yeah, this idea that she I love collard greens. You guys love collard greens? Oh, man. Collard greens are one of my favorites. They are spectacular. But I'll tell you this, I'm not. Kamala says she washes the collard greens in the bathtub of her house. I'm not eating anything out of someone's bathtub. That's gross. All that soap scum and ugh. Even if they clean it, they don't clean it with things you want to eat. You know, bathroom cleaners are not good. No, no, no. No, McDonald says they can find no records of her having worked for them, is what she said. McDonald's released a statement saying they have no record of her working for them. And they have records of everyone who worked for them. Yes, yes, yes. Coming up on the top of the hour at 6 a.m. here on the East Coast. So this is our top of the hour break. And then after this, we'll be live on the radio. Let's see, we got like 2 minutes. I'll be right back, guys. Quick men's room break, and I'll be back. All right. Welcome, everyone. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. If you're on hold, we'll go to the call shortly. I'm looking forward to reading this. What am I going to start with here? I know what I'm going to start with. We will be on the air in 60 seconds. Here we go.
To break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home security system, free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, our top-of-the-line systems are designed to detect intruders.
That's the last commercial.
Real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloman's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloman's, protecting what matters most. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with...
All right. Oh, man. 1 week from today, I'll be opening up the mic and celebrating President-elect President Trump's victory. Can you believe? We're got the goosebumps. We're 6 days away from Election Day. Oh, man. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 47 years on the radio. And man, do we have so much to cover. Oh man, this is exciting. What an exciting day. I came in today, there was a package. A listener sent me a package. Someone sent me a brand new paperback edition of President Trump's Art of the Deal, which I'm excited. You know, I read this book. I read The Art of the Deal during the first campaign in 2016, and I like this. This is a paperback version. I think I had the Kindle, and it's not large print, but it's kind of like medium-sized print, which is pretty cool. So I am most definitely going to be reading The Art of the Deal over the weekend as the art of the political deal is completed with President Trump being elected to a second and non-consecutive term, only the second time in American history that has happened. Oh man, if you're on hold, hang in there. So Joe Biden said we're garbage. He says MAGA people are garbage. That's what he said. He said MAGA people are garbage. And I'll play all the audio of it and this great moment with Marco Rubio. In that first campaign, it was a little difficult thing, but he's a good guy. And when he was running for re-election, I interviewed him, and I was shocked and honored when my cell phone rang, and it was Marco Rubio calling me, wanted to know if I'd interview him on my podcast. I was like, what? Yeah, of course. And I did. It's great. He's a good guy, and he's a good MAGA guy. And Marco Rubio delivered the garbage news about Biden to President Trump during the rally last night, which was really amazing. Never quite seen anything like that before, have you? And for those of you that have any doubts in your mind about Trump's victory, look at how everyone's treating him. Marco Rubio, that was amazing last night. But the thing with this garbage comment from Biden, I'll play all the sound bites and everything, don't worry. But let's talk about it a little bit first. You go back and you listen to President Trump since the moment he came down the escalator until the most recent time would be, I guess, the Hannity interview, although that was recorded during the day yesterday. But the Hannity interview Hannity did a great job, by the way. Did you guys catch that interview? It was a great interview. I listened to it early this morning. President Trump never attacks voters. He never attacks the American people, ever. And the Democrats, they do that constantly. And Joe Biden calling MAGA people garbage, that's over 100 million Americans. He thinks we're garbage. Now, here's my question to you about that. And I want to hear your thoughts on this at 1-888-465-2631. I've got many questions I want to ask you today, but this is one I want to hear from you on. Is Joe Biden sabotaging Kamala Harris? I think he is. Joe Biden hated Kamala Harris because of that debate when she brought up all of his racism and the segregationists that he was connected to and everything. And there's no way that Joe and Jill Biden want to walk behind Kamala Harris at the inauguration or any other time. Okay? They do not want her to be president. Not just because of what she did in that debate over 4 years ago, but what she did just a couple of months ago, which was take part in a coup against his presidency. She pushed him out of office because, you look at the polls, Kamala's getting creamed everywhere. There's no poll where she's doing well. Okay, that's it. That's it. She's not. It's bad for her. And Joe Biden, who's already ticked off that they forced him out of the race, right? But he's looking at the polls and he's thinking, I could have beat Trump. Now, Trump would still be ahead in the polls, but he wouldn't be as far ahead as he is today with Biden. I don't think. He'd still be winning, but he wouldn't be as far ahead as he is of Kamala, because she is such a bird brain. But Joe Biden tells himself, I'd be winning right now. Kamala Harris took my second term away from me. That's what he's thinking. And I believe that he started with this garbage stuff because he wants to sabotage Kamala Harris. What do you guys think? Why else would he do it? So Marco Rubio, this was amazing. So Trump is at his rally. He's speaking. It's Pennsylvania. Marco Rubio comes up on stage. Let me play this for you guys. This was really a cool moment. I mean, what's going on here, people don't really realize this when it's happening, but we're living through history right now. We are living through the most historic presidential campaign in history. You understand that, right? There has never been a political movement in America like this. And I describe Donald Trump not as a politician, but as a civil rights leader who's leading a movement larger than the great Martin Luther King. And I love Martin Luther King. I've been to his house. I've been to his museum. I've been to the King Center in Atlanta. Everyone should go. It's really cool. You can sit in the pews of Ebenezer Baptist Church, where he was, he was the assistant pastor. His dad was the pastor. He was a great man. But Martin Luther King did great things, no doubt about it. But he was leading really just one group of people, black Americans, from this Democrat, Jim Crow, segregation, oppression. Donald Trump is leading a civil rights movement of all Americans, no matter what skin color, religion, and all that stuff. In fact, I was watching, I know you guys probably do this too. I was watching the rally last night with President Trump, and I'm always looking at the people behind him. And the people behind President Trump last night, it was such a diverse group of people. I saw this one guy that was dressed, I don't know, like George Washington or Paul Revere, I don't know. There was a black guy talking to him and they were dancing. There was a black guy dancing with a Trump shirt on, dancing with this guy next to him dressed like George Washington. And a row or two down, there was a Muslim guy who was wearing one of those Muslim scarves like Arafat used to wear, but it was darker in color. And I told my wife, I said, look at this diversity. This is the most diverse political movement in the history of the United States. And what President Trump is doing is leading the largest civil rights movement in the history of the United States with the MAGA movement. And it's a civil rights movement leading all Americans to freedom from the tyranny of the government. Kamala Harris last night, with this event in the National Mall, was so stupid of her and her people and totally insane. So they fill up the mall. They're saying there were 100,000 there. These were not people like at these Trump rallies that travel and miss work and put themselves up in hotels. These were government workers who work in all those buildings that surround the National Mall. They got off work and they just walked out to the mall and had a block party. It was 100,000 government workers. These were not just regular people that showed up to a rally. I wouldn't be surprised if they were on the clock still getting paid from their government job. And when the American people see all of this bureaucracy out there, who are terrified they're going to lose their jobs because Elon Musk is going to cut all this government waste and Trump's going to fire a lot of these government workers, that pisses the American people off looking at them. These are not, these government workers in the National Mall, they'll tell you, see, they think they're a better class of American than you are or I am. Not because we're MAGA, garbage, deplorables, and all that. They're brainwashed. They brainwashed themselves with their own rhetoric, and these government workers that were cheering Willie Brown's girlfriend on in the National Mall last night, they tell themselves, I answered President Kennedy's call to public service. Bullcrap. They are not public servants. They want us to serve them. They think that they're a nobility class, the permanent Washington people. And I think that crowd pisses people off in this country. What do you think? I do. It pisses me off. I mean, my goodness. What do all those people do? And notice, they talk about government shutdowns. 100,000 government workers out there. Was anything not working in the government with 100,000 government workers from D.C. and the National Mall not working? So we'll take our first break of the day. When we get back, I'll play some of the audio sound bites. We got a lot of stories to cover, and also take your calls at 1-888-465-2631. Now remember, Medicare open enrollment period, you want to call Debbie at I Will Advisors. Debbie Klatzoff and her family have been with the Steve Kane Show since 1993. You guys remember Adam Klatzoff, Adam Captain Truth Klatzoff, remember him? Well, Debbie Klatzoff is his daughter-in-law, and Adam passed away years ago, and Debbie took over the company, and since 1993, the Klatzoff family have been helping Steve Kane listeners with their Medicare. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie can help you, and remember, open enrollment period is the only time of year that you can make changes to your existing Medicare policy. So call Debbie. Since they've been with us with the same phone number since 1993, I know the number by heart. I don't have to look at my copybook. It's 954-753-8080. Remember, no matter where you are in Florida, Debbie can help you with your Medicare. And if you get an answering machine, leave your name and number. She will call you back. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. We'll be right back. Oh, man. Welcome, everyone. Those of you that are new, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. What do you think, huh? I think that the crowd pisses people off. That's what I think, but that's just me. All right, so let's start with the audio. Let's see, we'll start. Yeah, Marco Rubio is awesome, isn't he? Absolutely, he's awesome. If you love Trump, press 1 in the chat, guys. If you love Trump, press 1. Oh, someone beat me. Yes. No, there's only one choice. There's no other choices. Look at all that Trump love. That's right. Well, Joe Biden says you're all garbage. Think about that. Think about that. What a psycho. I'm just going to let me see here. Okay, I'll start with Rubio, Trump, and then Biden. I'm going to do it in reverse.
Christmas. A standard My Pillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88 and free shipping on orders over $75. So go to mypillow.com right now and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and get the standard My Pillow for just $14.88, the lowest price ever.
Okay, we're coming back after this commercial.
716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, 18 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. Welcome back. If you're on hold, stand by. So, I'm going to go through the audio now. So Joe Biden says, MAGA, that we're garbage. I think he's trying to doom Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. What say you? But it was really cool how this happened. So Marco Rubio, we have two great senators here in Florida, Marco Rubio and Senator Scott, who was governor before DeSantis. And Rick Scott was the best governor we ever had. You know, when hurricanes happen and we get hit, we get through it much, much better because of everything he did, which I'm not going to go through, but, you know, like requiring the gas stations to have generators, replacing the power lines with concrete that were all these things. He was just a great governor, Rick Scott. We did an event with him at one of our sponsors, Wings Plus, in Coral Springs on Sample Road. We were over there with Rick Scott when he was running for Senate the first time. He was still governor. So anyway, Marco Rubio, President Trump's at this great rally in Pennsylvania, and Marco Rubio comes up on stage and delivers the news to President Trump about what Joe Biden called us. Listen.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I have breaking news for you, Mr. President. You may not have heard this. Just moments ago, Joe Biden stated that our supporters are garbage. Are garbage. He's talking about the Border Patrol. He's talking about nurses. He's talking about teachers.
And by the way, just to interject there, did you see President Trump at Mar-a-Lago yesterday with those moms of dead children that are dead because of Kamala Harris? Raped and murdered by Kamala's illegal dreamers, one killed in the Afghan withdrawal. Are they garbage too, Joe Biden?
He's talking about the Border Patrol. He's talking about nurses. He's talking about teachers. He's talking about everyday Americans who love their country and want to dream big again and support you, Mr. President. And I hope their campaign is about to apologize for what Joe Biden just said. We are not garbage. We are patriots who love America. And thank you for running, Mr. President.
Wow.
Wow. That's terrible. That's what it says. That's what it says. So you have, remember Hillary, she said deplorable? And then she said irredeemable, right? But she said deplorable, that didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right? But he doesn't know, you have to please forgive him. Please forgive him, for he not knoweth what he said. These people, terrible, terrible.
It is terrible. Wow. What a moment that was in the rally last night. You know, I've been watching every rally and every speech, no matter how late they are, no matter how many there are a day, no matter what time zone, because this is it. I mean, we'll never have rallies again after this week of President Trump campaigning to vote for him. He'll always have rallies. He'll have rallies until he can't anymore physically, but they'll be for other people. They won't be for him. These are the last ones for him, which bittersweet. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, that's it for you. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Richie.
Brian. Well, hey, I have to say this about Joe Biden, the president, you know.
Yep.
In a way, he's striking out. He's angry. He's an angry man. He or she had this big thing with the White House right in the background. He's sitting in the White House. He's not allowed out on that stage. And he's the sitting president of the United States.
That's right.
There is something definitely wrong going on in this country right now with these people on the left. We're watching not just a movement, a resistance to a communist takeover of the United States. America has woken up, and they're rejecting these people. As for him calling us garbage, I have to tell you something. I've worked hard my whole life. I haven't been a perfect human being, but the guy in the White House has been garbage for 4 years.
I think of it a little different, and I'm going to throw this out. I think what Biden did was a hostage video. What you said's right. Kamala's out there. By the way, wasn't she in the exact location President Trump was on January 6th? Yeah, you know. So she's out there. Wow, is that an insurrection? She's out there. Biden's not allowed out. He's basically been deposed. He's like Napoleon on Elba here, and I think he did that to get at her, to help Trump when. I think it was a hostage video by Joe Biden to sabotage Kamala Harris. What do you think? Because he's pissed off at her.
I think he's so ticked off at all of them. It's an embarrassment for this man. I mean, they have really embarrassed this guy.
Well, there's some rumors that they tried to get him to do something recently. Okay, they were trying, and now again, this has not been confirmed, but there's been credible rumors of this, that they have tried to get him to resign and make her the president, so that leading up to the election, she'd be the sitting president. And of course, that didn't happen, at least not yet. So as pissed off as he is about being deposed, if that is true, that would just tick him off even more. This humiliation he's going through.
Now, I watched that last night with her. I got to be honest with you. I can't stand her. I can't stand her mannerisms. I can't stand the fakeness. I can't stand the accents, the different places she goes. I see how she changes up. She's like a chameleon. She changes colors wherever she is. She changes her language, her diction. I mean, she's really a fake. And I can't watch the hand movements. Can't watch her laughing. A cackle. I can't stand this woman. And to see all those people out there, government workers or not, I said to myself, are these people sick? Are they living in a reality world?
See, you're a retired government worker, but you're a different kind of government worker. You're a bus driver. These people that got let out of work at the Washington Mall and stood out there in front of the White House for Kamala yesterday, these are terrible people that think they're the ones that are running the country, not the people.
I'm going to say something to you, and I don't know your income level. It's not my business, but their income levels are our business because we're paying their salaries. I guarantee you, if you go on the government workers in Washington D.C. and see the salaries these people get, you wouldn't be able to sleep. I bet you just people that are cleaning the floors with mop are making $100,000 a year.
Oh yeah,
Washington.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're all overpaid. It's disgusting, and they're all going to have lifelong retirements with benefits. And I'm telling you, guys that just mopped the floor.
Yes.
Washington D.C. is a cesspool, and we're paying for all this crap.
What she did yesterday she tried to pass them off not as government workers, but that she had this big following that marched to Washington like the Million Man March. I think that just pisses people off. I think when people see all those government workers like that going against us and MAGA, I think it pisses them off.
That would make a great show if you do the research on some of their salaries and just put them up on your show and say, this is what a guy that marks the floor gets. This is what I mean, it's got to be outrageous.
Oh yeah.
Like a regular person working in the street.
No.
No, and they always talk their crap. I mean, it's sick.
It is sick. All right, Richie. It's less than a week. I mean, if things go according to plan, I'll open up the show 1 week from today, and we'll be celebrating President-elect President Trump.
Thank you.
President-elect President Trump. Take care. If you're on hold, stand by. There's 2 openings on the board at 1-888-465-2631. Remember, if you doing your Christmas shopping or just want to support the program, which is a worthy cause in itself too, or just get a good night's sleep, go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. The lowest prices ever at MyPillow.com. You can get the MyPillow that started it all for less than $15, just $14.88. It's a pretty good deal. You can use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, on all the specials. I have everything. I've got MyPillow mattress, MyPillow mattress topper, MyPillow sheets. I've got every one of the MyPillows. I've got the MyPillow pet beds. I got the MyPillow my slippers. I've got the MyPillow towels. I've got, did I mention the MyPillow sheets? I live in a MyPillow house. And all of the MyPillow things I have purchased myself. None of them have been given to me by MyPillow. Sometimes they'll call and say, hey, Brian, would you like us to send you? And then they'll tell, well, I already have it. And I don't mind because the prices are so low, especially with our promo code KANE at checkout. And remember, free shipping on all orders over $75. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back.
making morning radio.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So guys, tell me yes or no, just yes or no, if you're watching live in the chat room, if not in the comments. This garbage comment by Joe Biden, is he trying to sabotage Kamala Harris with that? I say yes. What do you guys think? Yes or no? Is he trying to sabotage Kamala Harris? Absolutely. A lot of yeses. Yeah, makes sense. See, these rumors that they were trying to get him to resign and make her president as a last-ditch effort, that's the final thing that says, that's it. He's not going to take it anymore. That had to really tick him off. After they launched a coup against him, to go and pull something like that, that would piss anyone off. Yeah, you know. Let me see here. If you're on hold, stand by. Every line on the board is lit. I'm going to go to the phones after the break, guys.
Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Yes. Traffic, weather, and all that stuff. Welcome.
That's traffic. I'm Joey Don.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Ryan. I just want to say thank you.
Well, you know, Obama was forced into picking Joe for his vice president. What they did to get Joe to pick Kamala, we don't really know. He's bitter, and he should be. Wouldn't you be pissed? You're the sitting president. You are running for re-election. You have won all the primaries. You have all the delegates. And then they launch a coup? And then they disrespect you? They don't let you out on stage for the event yesterday? They try to get you to resign and make her the president? She says Trump's a threat to democracy. She wanted Biden to resign and make her president without getting one vote. Just like this nomination. She's out of her freaking mind. Oh no, he has a lot of cognitive issues, Joe Biden, but he has moments of clarity, and that was most definitely one of them. He knew exactly what he was doing. If you're on hold, hang in there. Just getting everything queued up.
Depth than it does on national defense. This is not sustainable. Chris Eddy is a retired Air Force one-star general, a retired FBI intelligence leader, and a current Weston City commissioner who has balanced budgets. Help him stop the chaos by electing him as your next congressman in Florida's 25th district.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Chris Eddy, and I approve this message.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration.
Now also, guys, if you're already subscribed, please like the video, if you don't mind. We'll be back after this commercial.
They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success, and every one of those customers are like family.
There we go.
Installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile.
I'm going to go right back to the phones when we get back.
So come on, and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602, or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Here we go.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on...
All righty, every line on the board is lit. It's coming up on 34 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show. I'll just take the calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben, what's up?
Hey, so I just want to say two things. One, there's a guy on Twitter who analyzes cell phone data, and he uses that data to like analyze large public gatherings. So what he found with the one yesterday is most of the people there, 91% of them have been to other Kamala rallies where the cell phone data at Trump's Madison Square Garden, it was like mostly original. So what Kamala, so it suggests that a lot of Kamala is just like, these are just fake fans that are like, go on, like it's like the fish tour. Or
Oh, really? Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that technology existed for common people to have access to.
I think he's like in the field, and it's not like you can't look up personal cell phone data, but the bulk like aggregate data, like that's legal, and I think he's like it would be typical.
Well, you know, maybe I'm wrong about this, but with 100,000 government workers in the Washington Mall in front of the White House trying to maintain their control over the government from the people, I think that pisses people off.
No, it's never a good look. And the second thing I'd like to say is he so I don't know, it's not just garbage. This guy has called us MAGA extremists, domestic terrorists, insurrectionists, anti-vaxxers. He's called us white supremacists. He's called us every disgusting thing in the book. There's no person. The reason we know he thinks we're garbage and it wasn't just a gaffe or a misspeak is because this guy's dumping 20,000 migrants into a town of 50,000. This guy's making it so women have to run around looking for baby formula. This guy's making it so like our life and quality of life is worse, so he can push these ridiculous energy.
And guys, remember this whole thing that Elon Musk started with the dark MAGA hats. That came from Dark Brandon. After Joe Biden did that satanic speech in front of in Philadelphia, remember?
The red sermon.
Yes, this from the gates of hell.
Right. You know what? That, if anything, is reminiscent of a Hitler speech. He had the red behind him. He had the long, narrow banners. He had the Marines right flanked on either side. He was saying how we were a threat to democracy, calling us every disgusting thing under the sun. Like, this isn't anything new. This guy, Democrats despise.
Well, the establishment Washington class, which he's the leader of, really, he's been there since Nixon, they're losing power. I mean, look yesterday, Barbara Bush, GW's daughter, endorsed Kamala. Well, first off, I forgot about Barbara Bush, you know, but not the former First Lady. And I got a question. You maybe got an answer to this, too. Did you see yesterday that weirdo that broke into Pelosi's house when her husband was home alone in his underwear got life in prison yesterday? Why did that? He got life in prison. Which, okay, I don't, you know. Why is that guy getting life in prison, but John Hinckley is a free man?
Didn't John Hinckley initially, it's like 25 to life, and then he got...
John Hinckley shot a president of the United States and the press secretary in the head and others. John Hinckley's the Reagan assassin. Why is John Hinckley free and the guy that had the incident with Paul Pelosi gets life?
Because for our friends, everything. For our enemies, nothing.
Because he did it to a Democrat, and John Hinckley shot Reagan and Brady, but they were Republicans, and you hear their attitude towards Trump. They think that Republicans bring this upon themselves and deserve it. All right, appreciate the call, Ben. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, sure. Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, and you've heard nothing about the guy who was on the golf course, you know, what's up with that, you know, so it'll be interesting to see what they do to him. They're protecting him.
You know, yeah, I appreciate that. And, you know, I want to say, you know, our sheriff, I probably shouldn't talk about this because I don't want to get pulled over for speeding. I don't speed, but, you know, the sheriff of Palm Beach County is running for re-election. I see his commercials all the time. He's been sheriff for a long time. And I got no problems with him. However, I'd like to see a press conference from the Palm Beach, you know, the Palm Beach County sheriff's deputies are the reason we got the golf course assassin, right? The woman told the deputy, I'd like the sheriff of Palm Beach, he's up for re-election, he's going to be on my ballot when I vote. I'd like the Palm Beach County sheriff to have a press conference and walk us through the timeline of the golf course assassin. Because we know nothing about him. Where was he staying? Who was he staying with? Was he living in a car, a hotel, an apartment, someone's house? We know nothing about. And the Palm Beach County Sheriff Department was very much involved in the golf course assassin. We know nothing. And I wish he would. I just thought about it this morning because I saw a commercial of his when I was watching the news early this morning before I came into the radio station. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Mike.
You know, this isn't this garbage thing is to sink Kamala, but this isn't the first time. You had the basket of deplorables, and then remember Obama and his bitter cleaners.
Bitter cleaners?
We cling to our
Bibles and guns. He says that was before MAGA, but he said Republicans cling to their guns and their Bibles, or the Bibles and their guns. Yes.
Yes. So this isn't the first time that a Democrat has said something like that. But again, you're right. This is meant to sink Kamala.
Absolutely.
Kamala's drawing fire from all people, including CNN.
Mm-hmm. See, the thing is, and I've pointed this out for years, President Trump never attacks and criticizes the American people. Never. From the time he came down the escalator, you never hear him calling the American people names. Ever. And the Democrats do nothing but that.
Right, and that's the thing. You look at this whole situation when your great senator comes in here and gives him the news, right? Steps up to the mic and gives President Trump the news. President Trump was genuinely surprised, which he shouldn't have been. But again, this is breaking news when
he's on stage speaking. How can he keep up to date with the news? Hey, Mike, appreciate the call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi. It's Matthew from Pompano.
Hey, Matthew, what's up?
So I think you're off your initial assessment, which was incorrect in the beginning. Biden is a senile old coot, as you like to call him, and he's not planning. He's not some mastermind genius. He's just, as you've said many times, and now you're going away from it. When you're senile, you just say the first thing that comes in your mind. There's no more filter.
No, that's not what I've said. That's not what I've said. What I've said about I'll tell you what I've said. Biden obviously has severe cognitive decline. We don't know what it is. He could have Parkinson's. He could have Alzheimer's. We don't know what it is. But he does have moments of clarity, and this was one of them. And he came out. He was not allowed out on stage with Kamala, who was in front of his White House. She launched a coup against him, which was successful. It's rumored that she. Am I interrupting something? Oh, okay. If I'm interrupting something, call back when you're not busy. It's been rumored that Kamala tried to get him to resign from the presidency to make her president, to give her a boost here on the eve of the election. And I think he and Jill were very clear in what they did. Okay, I think they are plenty pissed off at Kamala for good reason. And what he did was not by accident. He was very well aware of what he was doing. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes. Yes.
No, did I get the right number?
I hope so. Who are you trying to call? Maybe you didn't. I don't know. Who are you trying to call?
I just wanted to know, who do I need to talk to about receiving my mag?
Well, I'll tell you what you do. You email me on my website. I'll make sure you get one. Email me your name and address, and I'll mail you one today. All right? All right. I appreciate it. My website's briancraigshow.com. You go to my website. You email me there. I'll send you one today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Mark. What's up?
A couple things I noticed at that rally. On the left shoulder of Trump, that mother and father had their young son with the MAGA hat on at the rally. And that's the one thing Trump talks about. As a young boy, his father took Donald out to the work sites.
Yep.
So Donald Trump got to see the real working people and not somebody handed money.
Exactly.
At that round table meeting, that lady talked about her mother wanted to live in her house in the mountains, but they had to take her back home. And Donald Trump himself said he wanted to help that lady with her problems with taking care of her mother.
Oh, and yes, at that Huckabee town hall, that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing.
It shows, Donald Trump loves people, and a lot of Democrats would be really surprised to see the true Donald Trump. And, that was just incredible because he did it right there at the round table.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked to see him do that openly like that. He didn't even think, he just did it.
I think he is a very strong Christian, and he loves people.
Mm-hmm. All right, hey Mark, I gotta run, but I appreciate the call. We're gonna take our last break of the first hour. Our number is toll free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back. All right.
Same-day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year. Call us today at 833-ALL-YEAR. That's 833-ALL-YEAR.
Call 833-ALL-YEAR today for free diagnostic calls. Up to 15% off repairs. Up to 30% off new.
Hey guys, welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name's Brian. This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. I broadcast on a whole bunch of FM radio stations, hosting a morning drive radio show, and I live stream on YouTube. So these callers, some are listening on the radio, some on YouTube, some on iHeartRadio, all kinds of places.
We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
We'll be back shortly.
Join me on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for What's Your Story with Anita Mitchell. Join me this Tuesday.
If you're on hold, hang in there.
For What's Your Story with Anita Mitchell. That's on the True Oldies station.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is.
All righty, callers on hold, stand by. Friendly Tire in Margate, by the way, they're open on Saturdays. All the cars in my family and my extended family are on the road with tires from Friendly Tire. And it's amazing with the high inflation that's going on. Mike at Friendly Tire has been able to maintain his incredibly low prices. $70 a tire for new tires out the door and on the road. Now, that's as low as, if you go in with want something special or some big car, but that $70 for new tires out the door and on the road is for common sizes that are on some of the most common vehicles on the road today. So make sure you check that out, okay? And I'll give you his number. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. For Friendly Tire in Margate. Call us on hold, stand by. So Biden called this garbage yesterday. I think he's trying to sabotage Kamala Harris. Byron Donalds went on TV last night. Is this CNN that Byron's on? Let me check before I play it. Yes, it's CNN. Byron Donalds went on CNN to talk about this. Listen.
My response is that the first statement from Joe Biden is the one that he truly believes. He does not think that people who disagree with him or his party, who support President Trump, are Americans. He thinks that they're garbage. That's a fact. And the reason what I go back to is 4 years ago, around this same time, it was Joe Biden that went on the Breakfast Club, and he famously said that if you couldn't vote for him, then you weren't black. This is Joe Biden. made the same type of statement 4 years ago. So this is consistent with who he is. Look, I think right now what we have is a contrast in presidential campaigns. Donald Trump has been on the campaign trail talking about fixing our country, ending a lot of the travesties from the Biden-Harris administration, making America great again. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz for that matter, they're running around talking about the rally, and MSG was a Nazi rally. Well, Laura, I spoke at that rally. So did Harry O., the founder of Death Row Records. So did Vivek Ramaswamy. So did Tulsi Gabbard. I don't think the Nazis will let us speak at their rally.
Yeah, good point. Don't you love Byron Donalds? He's a great congressman here in Florida. And, I could see him doing two things that would be so awesome in the future. I would love if Byron Donalds would become governor of Florida after Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio has 2 years left, and he's term limited out of office. So I don't know who we have lined up to be a great governor after Marco. Marco Rubio's not going to run for governor, but he's not going to leave the Senate. But Byron Donalds, he's either going to run. My choice would either be run for governor, be our next governor, first black governor of Florida, as far as I know. We had a black governor in Florida before? I don't think so. Or he could be J.D. Vance's running mate in 4 years. Either one of those would be a pretty good future for him. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes. Oh boy, it's going to be one of those days, guys. This is the liberal response when you go screenless. But no, Byron Donalds most definitely has a big future. And the point that he made is so true. They call it a Nazi rally. You have diversity like that. You didn't have diversity at the Nazi rallies. They didn't have Indians and black people at the Nazi rallies, okay? And it's just such a stupid thing. But the deal with the Democrats is this, and it's a pretty simple one. Watch, let's see if it goes again. You're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air.
This is Charles from California.
Oh, hey, Charles.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention something to you. I was watching a video today, a bunch of videos, and at the first assassination attempt,
and Butler, when that never Trumper shot President Trump and killed a MAGA man, yes.
Yes, well, the Secret Service lied because
yes,
more than one shooter. There was of somebody caught on the water tower.
I don't know about that. Okay.
Yep, I saw that today.
You saw that today. Okay.
I think Biden is playing people.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you on all of that. But let me finish up with this, though. What's going on here with the media and the left is a beautiful thing. Donald Trump has done a lot of great things, like overturning Roe v. Wade, because, how many babies have been born already? And by the end of his second term alone, how many babies will have been born that would not have been because President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade? And if you go 50 years, 100 years in the future, how many people will be born and live lives because President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade? It's amazing, isn't it? It absolutely is amazing. And I think that'll be his greatest accomplishment. But he's done so many other great things too. And a lot of people say, drain the swamp. Why didn't he drain the swamp? He has done so much swamp draining, but we've been in this constant campaign mode for 10 years that we haven't had time to sit down and realize it. When the Trump family took over the RNC, that was the draining of the Republican establishment from controlling the Republican Party. The Republican Party has been overthrown of the Republican establishment people. That's why so many of them have become Democrats, right? The Cheneys, Barbara Bush yesterday endorsing Kamala. That's major swamp draining. The media, the legacy traditional media has become irrelevant because President Trump started calling them the fake news and exposed them. He's drained us of the left-wing mainstream fake news media's relevance in our society. They have no juice anymore. They have no influence anymore. And this event that Kamala had in the mall in front of the White House last night with all of the government workers in D.C., 100,000 of them coming out like they did, that was really amazing because what that was a panic move. You know, anxiety and panic are the same thing. It's fear. And the worst time to make a decision is in a state of anxiety. When you make a decision out of fear, it's usually the wrong decision. And those government workers that they brought out in front of Willie Brown's girlfriend last night, Kamala Harris, was a panic move and a stupid move because seeing all those government workers ticks the average American off. And the swamp is being drained, and this move that he's making with Elon Musk, with cutting the government waste, that is so big. Now, I want to ask you this question. Those of you that are Democrats or whatever you call yourselves that aren't voting for Trump, what is the agenda of Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party today? President Trump's agenda is to make America great again. I don't have to go through the list of things. You know what they are. What is the agenda of the Democrats? And I'll tell you what I think it is. The Democrats don't want to make America great again. They want to dismantle America. The Democrats want to lead the collapse of America. Like the Soviet Union collapsed, they want America to collapse, the United States of America. That's why we're occupied by all these criminals around the country. They're overloading our infrastructure in cities around America, like Springfield, Ohio. But what do you see their agenda as? I think they're trying to bring down America. What do you think they're trying to do? Our number, 1-888-465-2631. Now, I want to talk to you about angel water. Do you know what you and your family are drinking? Are you drinking toxic water? Are you cooking with toxic water? Are you bathing with toxic water? I was, because Rocky from Angel Water came out to my house and tested the water. I was shocked at what he found. You know, Angel Water has over 1,000 positive reviews on Google. That's amazing. That means their customers like me are so excited, so happy, so pleased with the Angel Water water purification system. They've left these great reviews. They come out and test your water at your home at no charge. And when you find out what's in your water, you'll be shocked. There's all kinds of crazy things in it. Radium, barium, chemicals like chlorine, pesticides, parasites. Who knows? There's all kinds of terrible things that you don't want to be taking in. So not only will you be drinking clean filter water with Angel Water, the Angel Water water purification system takes out things other water purification systems do not, including those forever chemicals that the EPA is always worried, trying to tell us you don't want to have in your body. All the water in your home will be purified with the Angel Water purification system before it enters your house, just like in mine. My sink water, my refrigerator water, my washer, my dishwasher, my clothes washer, all the sinks, all the showers, all the bathtubs, the toilets, all of that is purified, even my garden hoses outside. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to give you their number. Call Angel Water. Have them come out to your home. They'll do this at no charge. Test your water and let you know what you and your family are drinking, cooking with, and bathing with. Here's the number. 561-899-6585. 561-899-6585. That's 561-899-6585 for Angel Water. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? We've interrupted a conversation. Remember the last time this happened? Let's listen in. Oh, they hung up. Oh boy, that was going to be good. Remember the last time that happened? It was conservative Doug and his wife arguing was that last week or the week before? Oh my goodness. And Doug and his wife were having a knockout drag out. I had to hit the dump button because his wife used the F word. It was crazy. Or was it Doug that used the F word? Anyone remember? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Chris from Pompano Beach.
Hey, Chris.
Call. Yeah.
Doug and his wife fighting? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that was interesting. First, in the Steve Kane Show, right? No, you're 100% as far as those that have attached themselves to the Democrat Party for the last few decades trying to tear it down. And plus, all of that woke stuff was part of it. And, denouncing America as founded and everything. That was very strategic. And that's why I say it's not about just this election. This is something they've been working on for decades. And you said it perfectly a couple of weeks back when you mentioned, unfortunately, and I noticed this while I was in the Marine Corps, that if there's a downfall in America, it is the fact that no one stands out here in this country. It's not unusual for anyone from anywhere in the world, not just to be here vacationing or living, but working in our highest forms of government in office.
Including this Iranian spy at the Pentagon that gave the battle plans to Hamas, right? And I haven't heard anything about them being arrested. Were they at that rally last night, that Iranian spy? Listen, I'm up against the top of the hour. You made some good points. Thanks for calling, all right?
Have a good one.
All right, take care. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. 1 hour down, 2 to go. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be right back.
WSFS 104.3 HD3.
How does that keep happening?
Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Up to speed and no delays on the Turnpike at 95 north and south through Delray Beach, Point Beach, Lake Worth, and West Palm. Palm Beach Gardens construction on the Beeline Highway from West Blue Heron Boulevard.
If you're on hold, hang in there, guys.
The traffic update is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. That traffic, I'm Dory Don.
Traffic is service on the Palm Beach. Listen to the PBKC Pink Show live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And catch football Sundays in the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet plus a draft beer for just $25.
We'll be back shortly, guys. I'm just getting stuff queued up for the next segment. And if you're on hold, hang in there. I'll get to the calls after the break. If you'd like to call in, it's toll-free, no matter where you're listening or watching. The number is pinned in the live chat. If you're watching live, you can call me live on the air. Okay. Oh man, after the show today, I am starving. I can't eat before I go on the air, so it makes me tired when I'm on the air. Delaware. Oh my goodness. I feel sorry for you. Biden's going to be moving back soon permanently. That means Hunter will be in town, so.
Doing that for over a decade. You need Jupiter Joe's.
Yeah, please like the video. Subscribe if you're new. And if you're already subbed, please like the video. Thank you, Chuck.
Or call 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Take advantage of his free phone consultation, too. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. If you're on hold, stand by. If you're just tuning in, Joe Biden last night called MAGA people, which is over 100 million Americans, garbage. Let me play the audio. Oh, my goodness.
Donald Trump has no character. He doesn't give a damn about the Latino community. He's failed businessman. He only cares about the billionaire friends he has and accumulating wealth for those at the top. No, he says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. Give me a break. He wants to do away with the birthright citizenship. Who the hell has said that in the last 100 years? And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Tina is unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done.
Okay, so he says that Trump supporters are garbage. Garbage. Nice guy, class act. All right, back to the phones we go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is John Paul Jones out of Texas.
Yeah, what's up, Texas?
Hey, man, good show. Just wanted to chime in on a couple things. So, going back to the media and Trump, when it comes to Trump, I don't think a lot of people realize that he's not going to exactly show all of his cards. And I think that was kind of represented in the Joe Rogan interview, that, he wants to give you a pretty good outline. And this is for the people that, want to sit there and compare him to Harris on this, that, he wrote the art of the deal. So if anybody even understands the premise to that, he's not going to tell everybody
right here.
Exactly all of his cards, because he wants to make sure he can make the deal. And he pretty well outlined that in the Joe Rogan interview.
Well, it's a funny thing you say that. I just happen to be holding a copy of The Art of the Deal in my hand that a listener sent me. I just got this morning. The thing with the Rogan interview and stuff, you're right. There was a study done by a media research organization about the media coverage of Trump and Kamala. The Trump coverage by the media is 85% negative. 85% negative for Donald Trump. And for Kamala Harris, the mainstream media's coverage of Kamala Harris is 78% positive. The media have made themselves irrelevant.
Oh, they've made themselves completely irrelevant. The way we've gotten ourselves into this propaganda cycle with mainstream media, they need to realize that they are dying. I know I'm from Metroplex, Dallas-Fort Worth area, and most of the people I talk to around here can absolutely tell you they don't even want to listen to mainstream media anymore. They come to shows like this, they come to YouTube, they even go to TikTok, and I think they wanted to ban TikTok because a lot of these, very outside media.
Well, that's the thing. The media, it's the mainstream media have not become irrelevant because of new technology. I mean, I'm on the radio. This is older than TV. They become irrelevant because the content that they're putting out there, the consumer of news doesn't want to hear it. Rush Limbaugh used to talk about this a lot. He said the mainstream media, they don't care what the customer wants. They know better than the customer. And if you don't get it and watch it, they don't care. They're going to give you what they want to give you, whether you want it or not. And successful media, we give you if they did the news properly, they'd still be relevant.
I mean, I completely agree with that. I do believe it's format-based, though, to a point, because radio, a lot of people are going to be listening in their cars. I'm driving an 18-wheeler right now using a headset. And, I'll flip over to the radio. Well, I can't get TV. Everybody goes home. They're sitting there after a long day, and they flip on the TV. And they know that format is what gets a lot of people at the end of the day, in the beginning of their day, and possibly even on their break.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, are you now? Let me ask you. You drive an 18-wheeler?
Yes, sir.
Do the kids still do the thing to get you to honk your horn? Do they still do that to you guys? I used to do that when I was a kid.
It's not as much as when I was a kid, because I'm 35. It's not much as when we used to do that when I was a kid, and brothers and sisters and everything. But people still do it. I mean, I got grown people still doing it to me. I got kids doing it to me that even still understand that. But
we used to all. I'm older than you, but we grew up on Convoy with Chris Christopherson, BJ and the Bear, and all these shows. And yeah, I know. And of course, of course, Smokey and the Bandit, and they had the so, we all did that. You put your thing in, but kids don't even know what that is anymore.
Older brothers and sisters that are probably around.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate the call. All right. 18-wheeler on the road in America. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
We all know that the liberals are insane and miserable people. I talked to a liberal yesterday, and he says to me, I'm hoping President Trump wins. I says, wow, what happened? Oh, I want him to win, so then when he gets in office, he can fail, and then you guys will finally stop loving that guy. I says, what are you talking about? Why would you want him to fail? He has everything he wants to do is good for the country, and it will hurt the country. I just want him to fail. And then I talked
So this friend of yours wants America to fail. What a jerk!
What a jerk, man! I'm telling you, this guy's a jerk.
We all have liberals in the closet, right, in our family. There's a book out, Confederates in the Attic. And yesterday, I was shocked. My mother called me, and she had just come back from voting for Trump. My mother has never voted for a Republican in her life. And for the first time, and I know she doesn't like President Trump because she tells me all the time, okay? And she voted for him. And the main reason, I don't talk about politics to my mom, okay? Because I don't need to hear all this. I talked to Renee from Harlem and these jerks on the phone. I don't like to talk to people trashing Trump in the family. But she voted first Republican, and she voted for President Trump, and she voted early. And I know what it's about. It's the inflation. Because every time I've been talking to her, she's talking about how little food she's getting for her money. And so first time Republican voter, she voted for Trump. That's crazy. I was in shock.
The other liberal I talked to, I says, so are you going to vote? He said, I'm voting for Kamala. I said, why would you do that? Well, I said, what has she done that you want to vote for? Well, she annoyed all you Republicans. I said, if that's the reason, this guy's black, so she's black, so I have to vote for her because I'm black.
Oh, is she? Is she black? Did you see what they did with this McDonald's photo, her campaign? Oh my goodness. They posted on Kamala Harris's campaign Twitter, X, the other day, a picture of her in her McDonald's uniform going to work back when she was like 17 or however. And they took it down in seconds because people found they photoshopped it. They put Kamala's head on the body of somebody else from 19 whatever it was and put it up there, and it immediately got found out. But they put Kamala's head on the body of a white girl, and they didn't, and her face matched the arms of the white girl. And and this was a very deliberate act. The girls whose photo that they photoshopped is dead. And she was Canadian. She was a Canadian and dead. So they did this for two reasons. Okay, one, they had to get a Canadian because she was in high school in Canada, and maybe the uniforms were different in Canada than the United States, so they didn't want to have any mistakes. And dead women tell no tales. So the woman couldn't come out and say, that's me, because she's dead. But technology exists, and they found out right away that it would. But they photoshopped her campaign. They photoshopped Kamala Harris's head on the body of a white girl, and it matched. So I don't know about this.
How desperate are these people, man? They will try anything. And there's rallies that she had. There's 100,000 of those, so baloney.
Of government workers.
Yeah, man, government workers. I said once before, 50,000 workers in the Department of Commerce. We have 50 states. You need 1,000 people for each state to do commerce.
Well, think about this, Doug. Think about this, Doug. By the way, are things okay with your wife after that argument you had a couple weeks ago?
Oh yeah, that was done the next day.
Okay, done the next day. Oh, it was a long day. Long day. No, what were we talking? I forgot. Oh yes, the government workers. I want you to think about this. So they had 100,000 government workers in the Washington Mall, right? So who was running the government? They tell us you can't have the government shut down The government was running fine with 100,000 of their workers not working out in the mall last night.
Good point. Good point. You're right. There's so many people working for the government that 100,000 doesn't mean anything. It's ridiculous. Like I said, 50,000 just for the Department of Commerce. So, I'm hoping that President Trump is going to drain the swamp and cut.
Well, he has been. All right, hey, Doug, I appreciate the call. I got to give Doug some extra time after that great call that when he butt dialed us. That was great. I love butt dials are the best calls. There's two calls that are great. Okay, and other shows they get freaked out. All our calls are screenless. We have someone here that could answer the phone. We take the call screenless. You call, I put you on hold. No one answers the phone. We take it screenless. I love the butt dials. Those are great. And the other ones that are great, sometimes. The butt dials are always really good because there's something going on most of the time. But the wrong numbers, those are always good. When people are calling the wrong number, those are also very good on the air most of the time. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. Most people, if they get a wrong number, they feel like it makes them look stupid. I love the butt dials. I love the wrong numbers. It's fun. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. Our number 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Butt dials and wrong numbers are oftentimes better than the regular callers in some areas.
This is your time to really focus on wellness of mind, body and spirit. Amrit Ocean Resort is now open on Singer Island, a next generation luxury wellness resort merging Eastern principles and Western luxury. The 4-story wellness spa is like nothing you've experienced before.
Welcome. If you are new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video, too. That helps a lot, guys. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'll get to the phones after the break. I do have a question to ask, though, before. Mm-hmm.
Explore all available offers at amritocean.com. That's AMRITOcean.com.
Mike Lindell is offering wholesale pricing for Christmas. The standard MyPillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88.
Oh, I got a sneeze coming.
Over $75. So go to mypillow.com right now and use our promo code.
I got a sneeze coming. Hold on.
And get the standard MyPillow for just $15. The lowest price ever. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716.
I don't want to sneeze in the mic.
1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
Because it'll be loud. Okay. All right. We'll be back right after this commercial. Lefty Madrid, is that sarcasm? Who would be a leftist in this country today? Are you in Madrid? You in Spain? You're in America.
Here is in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at Truly's FLA.
All right, we are back. 18 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. You know, any of you have any celebrities that follow you on X? I do. Some pretty famous people follow me. Sometimes I get pretty impressed. Like, who's somebody? I'll tell you somebody that really blew me away. Okay, somebody new followed me that I found out this morning, but this one's not a super famous person. But do any of you guys remember the television show Buck Rogers in the 25th century? Remember that show, Buck Rogers in the 25th century? I was shocked to find out a few weeks ago that the actress that played Princess Ardala, who's probably the sexiest woman ever in the history of television, follows me on X. I was surprised at that. Roseanne Barr, Scott Bay, a lot of people follow me. But I found out today that Rush Limbaugh's brother follows me, David Limbaugh. I was pretty shocked at that. I was like, wow, that's amazing. David Limbaugh follows me on X. That was pretty cool. Who doesn't love Rush and the Limbaugh family, right? I want to talk just quickly before we go back to the phones about Mike Lindell and My Pillow. You heard my commercial during the break, the great deal on the pillows. My wife and I guess it's been about 2 months now, got a My Pillow mattress, and we got the one with springs in it. It's springs and foam. I've not had a spring mattress since I was a kid. And, of course, we got a great deal on the My Pillow mattress because we used the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and got a great deal on it. If you need a new mattress, oh, my goodness. Now, we have the mattress topper on top of it, but the My Pillow mattress, the spring mat, it has lumbar support in it. I don't even know how that's possible, but it has lumbar support in it. It is sleeping on a cloud in heaven. But if you go to mypillow.com, great deals there for yourself or for your Christmas shopping. You can use our promo code KANE at checkout on all the specials at mypillow.com. All right, now before I go to the calls, I have a question for you. You see this story about the Puerto Rican senator who came out and endorsed Trump yesterday, which is great, especially after that comedian, that Joe Rogan's friend, told that joke. We're getting a lot of negative publicity involving Puerto Ricans, but it's a big nothing. But I'm confused about this. I've never heard of this woman before. I'm glad she's supporting Trump, but they say she's a shadow senator. What the heck is a shadow senator? Puerto Rico's a territory, and the territories of the United States, they don't have voting members of Congress. They have delegates in the House of Representatives. D.C. has a delegate. The U.S. Virgin Islands has a delegate. Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, the delegates in the House, they can speak in Congress, but they can't vote. They have no vote. They have a voice, but no vote is how it goes. Okay? And also in the territories like Puerto Rico, they don't vote in the presidential elections. They vote in the primaries, but they don't have a vote in the general election. So they say she's a shadow senator. Can someone tell me what that is? I've never heard of this before, and I'm pretty knowledgeable about things like this. I know about the delegates, but what is a shadow senator? What does that mean? Now, they do have a state legislative body, which they have like a territorial, because it's a territory, Puerto Rico. They have a territorial legislative body, which might have a Senate in it, but that's not what she is. What is a shadow senator? Is she part of the Puerto Rican independence movement or the statehood movement, and she's like a senator if they had one? What is a shadow senator from Puerto Rico? And this is not an official, this is not like a delegate, or it would say the delegate to the House of Representatives. They don't have delegates in the Senate. I don't know what this means, a shadow senator. So I don't know. I'm glad she came out and endorsed Trump and she's Puerto Rican. That's fine. But I just don't know what a shadow senator is. If you know, let me know. All right? You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Oh, hey, Renee. What's up?
Yeah, I'm listening to your diatribe, and you're so typical. It seems to me I know what you guys need to do, and it would be the perfect replacement. In fact, I read the replacement in a book. It was in the 90s. It was by a white guy. It was a liberal. He had a book called Race Traitor, and his idea was the solution to your problem. You should be replaced. My wife was white.
What do you mean? What do you mean she was white? Did she has she passed away? Your wife? What do you mean she was white?
Well,
or did she leave you?
Classify her as Jewish
No, did your wife pass away? Did your wife, you said you had a white wife. You said my wife was white. Did she pass away or did she leave you?
Okay. All right. We're not together right now.
Oh, she left you. Did she leave you for a white guy? Did she leave you for a white guy?
No, she's still single.
Does she, well, who does she date? Does she date white guys, black guys, Spanish guys?
Not dating anybody.
Uh-huh, right. How... I'm starting to think this might be the root cause of your anger towards white people. But I'll tell you this: your wife is one of the smartest women I know because she was smart enough to get away from you.
Well, I was thinking about you actually.
Why'd your wife leave you? Why'd she leave you? What'd you do?
Well, I was thinking about you, actually, because your life is typical of the weakness of why you guys are so radically racist.
Right.
Couldn't have a cop. You couldn't make a child yourself, could you?
What are you talking about? I obviously struck a nerve because my daughter is adopted. Yes, my wife and I... my wife could bear children.
A child of her own.
She could. And by the way, our daughter is our own child.
No, why didn't you make a child your own, of your own?
Because my wife has a health condition that can be passed on to children, and we did not want to pass on her serious illness to a child, so we adopted.
You're weak.
No, we didn't want to pass on my wife's illness to another child.
Make children. You can't.
My wife has since my daughter's soon to be 26, so my wife has had like a hysterectomy. She could have a child now. Yeah, she's my daughter. Yeah.
She's not from your lineage.
My mother was adopted too. So are my grandparents not my grandparents?
So
you're really a sad guy. You're really a sad guy. Of course.
Are African Americans real Americans?
Of course.
Oh, really? So that 3/5 compromise, was that real?
That was the Democrats' proposal from the South. Do you know what that was about? Do you know what that was about, the 3/5 compromise? Tell me what you think it was about. Tell me.
3/5 compromise is a way that the racists were able to keep some control.
Yeah, that's right. The Southern Democrats had a lot of slaves. So they wanted to count the slaves in the census because that's how congressional seats and the electoral college is divvied up. So they counted slaves as 3/5 for the purpose of congressional districts. They were not saying that they're 3/5 of a person. But I got to tell you, listening to your conversation, what you said about my wife and daughter, you're not human. You're not a person. You're not 3/5 of a person. You're not even 1% of a person. You're a monster to say things like that about a man's wife and child. You're less than 3/5 of a person, and I think everybody in this audience would agree with that. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break and be right back. That was Renee from Harlem, wasn't it? Or was it Jay? Oh, yeah, you want to do that? Sure.
From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast. Good morning. This is Jeremy Simon from the all-year cooling weather center.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Wind, but very low chances of rain. So stay cool, stay dry, and have a great Wednesday. Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates.
If you're on hold, hang in there.
Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Sorry.
Which one is this one? Yep, there it is.
Thank you.
He's that's Jeremy. He's filling in for Mike. I think Mike's back tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think he said tomorrow.
Refresh your wardrobe and home for fall. Get low prices every day on unique finds at Macy's Backstage.
Well, that's what when you go screenless, you know, you don't have quality control.
That's traffic. I'm going gone. Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor
But he set himself up with that 3/5 thing. But that's the left. That's the left.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean. I'm calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for...
Oh, man. What a day.
I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. One session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday.
I know I need a haircut when my hat starts to get tight on my head, when I have to adjust the size of my hat. It's time for a haircut.
Believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. F-R-E-E free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in to see Dr. Appleton, the greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973.
If you're on hold, hang in there.
Online, AppletonChiro.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710. Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowner...
Sometimes I just rest during the breaks, guys. I apologize. But my mouth is just a little sore today. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. I'm not Tim Pool and bald and cover up my baldness like Tim Pool does.
If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money?
My hair's growing in faster since I started my testosterone therapy.
If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporte...
It's not the vocal cords as much as the jaws. My mouth works more than a street-walking prostitute, you know. It's between the radio, YouTube, my podcast. I record commercials and stuff for the podcast, for the radio station. So it's the muscles in my jaw are just a little tired. Like a little sore.
Right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
The Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce has...
Yeah, whoever sent me this copy of The Art of the Deal, thank you so much. I will most definitely read it. I read this during the first campaign, but I'm going to read it again. Kenny, $5 super chat, thank you. No. You just get put on hold, Kenny. There's no screening. No screening, just get put on hold. When you're on hold, though, you're listening to the delay. You're not listening. So I don't know why it's that way, but it's how they set up the studio. If you're on hold, you're hearing the delay. Plus, there's a delay on YouTube. There's about... Let me do a test. I don't think I got enough time. Okay, I'm gonna clap.
Right now,
1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 11, 12, 13. Yep, 12 seconds. 12 seconds delay on YouTube. Let me try it again. 1. Oh no, that one was... Yeah, 12 seconds. You weren't put on hold, then I didn't grab the line fast enough.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the
All right, callers on hold, stand by. So Biden called MAGA people garbage, Trump supporters garbage, all over 100 million American people yesterday. And the question is, did he do that to sabotage Kamala Harris? I say he did. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Arizona Terry. How you been, man?
All right, Terry, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm wondering why this story with Candace Owens and Kamala Harris hasn't been getting any legs anywhere.
Which story?
Candace Owens has done about a 4 or 5 piece expose. Kamala Harris's book that she came out about herself, where she said she has a picture, and this is all proven stuff now. She had relatives call in. It's amazing. The picture that Kamala Harris has with her paternal great-grandmother, that woman was dead 4 years before she was even born.
No. I saw that episode of Candace Owens' show. That her great-grandmother outlived her grandmother or something. That was her great-grandmother in the picture, not her grandmother.
Was actually white from the.
Well, the reason that no one's talking about Candace Owens is because I when this happened a couple months ago, I talked about it at the time. Candace Owens, and I've seen some of her shows on this Kamala's Not Black thing. And it's interesting. She had a very interesting guest on, who's an Asian journalist on. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. That has a lot of information on Kamala, but Kamala Harris. I'm sorry, Candace Owens. There's 2 things that are very much related about her, and it's why no one is talking about her. What do you think they are?
I don't know. You have to fill me in.
She's an anti-Semite. She hates Jews. She's a hardcore anti-Semite, and she also this was crazy. A couple months back, she got into the realm of Holocaust denial, and no one wants anything to do with anti-Semitic Holocaust deniers. I don't. And that's it. And in fact, she was uninvited. She was uninvited from an event with Don Jr. because of it. So because of that, and then I noticed on one of her things this week, she also about a year and a half ago was trashing President Trump. But the anti-Semitic and Holocaust denial did her in. And on one of her things this week, she was calling Kamala a Jew. Like, I guess all of her investigations determined that she's really Jewish. So no one wants to quote, cite, or have anything to do with anti-Semitic Holocaust deniers. I know I don't. Do you want anything to do with anti-Semitic Holocaust deniers?
So now if she does come up with a legit story, it gets washed out by the stupid stuff she's done.
No, she blew her own credibility, and that's it. I mean, I don't. Let me tell you something. I don't talk to anti-Semites, and I don't talk to Holocaust deniers. And I'm a free speech guy. It's America, but your First Amendment rights don't require me to participate in it. Once you go down the route, it was bad enough with the anti-Semitism. Okay, and she started rolling it out slow with just being anti-Israel, which to be anti-Israel is to be anti-Semitic too, by the way. But then when she got into the Holocaust denial, that was it. She's done. You don't recover from that.
Well, I didn't know about that part of it. I just caught that. I know she's a double-edged sword, but I caught that and thought it was pretty interesting. And it seemed really credible with the stuff, relatives and stuff calling into her.
No, and I watched the first one. I watched the entire episode of the first one she did about the grandmother, and that was her great-grandmother. And I was lucky enough to be alive and know some of my great-grandparents. Did you know any of your great-grandparents?
No.
Okay, I knew a few of them, okay? Very lucky to know them. And you don't call your great-grandma great-grandma. You call her grandma. So when she referred to her great-grandma as grandma and said this was her grandmother, that's normal. I knew 3 of my great-grandmothers and 1 of my great-grandfathers. And I think it was a stretch. I'm not saying that what I saw really lacked a lot of evidence.
come up with some, but if she's like, now that explains why nobody's picked up on it.
No one. It's not a double-edged sword. Holocaust denial and anti-Semitism is like doing porn. Once you do porn, you can never go back. You can never go back. You can't undo it. All right, take care. Appreciate the call, and I'm sorry, guys. That's it. All right, let's go. 1-888-465-2631. And what she's doing. And you're going to see more of this with Candace as things go on. And it's really sad because she did a lot of good stuff years ago. She's going to become more outrageous as she becomes more cut off from people because of this stuff that I'm talking about. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Jermaine. I'm from North Carolina.
Renee, what's up?
No, Jermaine.
Oh, Jermaine. Oh, like Jermaine Jackson. All right, Jermaine. What's up?
I've been listening to your show for a little while right now, and I'm actually kind of worried about some of the rhetoric that's been put on. I mean, it's not uneducated.
What rhetorics? Things I've said, or what have I said that sounds uneducated?
No, not uneducated. Misinformed.
Misinformed. What am I misinformed on that you've heard today?
We'll start with the inflation thing. You understand that inflation talks about the rate of which prices increase and not how prices have increased.
Yeah. Tell me what the number one cause of inflation in the United States is. What causes inflation?
Greed.
No, it's not corporate greed. No, it's not. Hold on. Excuse me. By the way, do you have any money in your pocket?
Yes.
Why don't you go outside and give it to somebody, or send it to me? You do really? You give all your money away? You give all your money. We have no money in the bank. You don't pay your bills. You just give all your money away.
I definitely pay my bills. But
you pay your bills. You keep some of your money. Sounds like you're greedy. Here's the number. What causes inflation? What causes?
I like to give my crew lunch sometimes.
Sometimes you should always buy them food unless you're greedy. You have a crew.
Trying to demonize me for doing something nice because you didn't like how I disagree with what you had to say.
No, you just don't. No, you just don't know what you're talking about. But that's okay. You're gonna get some. No, you're gonna get some education. You're gonna get some education. Excuse me. I'm not one of your crew that you could talk at. Just please let me speak. Well, you got to stop talking so I can respond. The number one cause of inflation. There's two major causes of inflation in the United States, not just now, throughout time. The number one cause of inflation is too much government spending. Inflation is caused by two things, and the reason governments and they spend big money, right, like billions and trillions of dollars, like on Ukraine and all this garbage. The reason that causes inflation is because it reduces the amount of money in the money supply that causes inflation. What causes the second cause is the price of bringing goods and services to the market, and what drives that up is the cost of oil. And Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have driven the price of oil up and have gotten out of control with government spending. That's what causes inflation, and that's what's causing it now, not corporate greed.
Okay, so let's focus on your first one. You talked about. You said about how the military is spending a lot of money.
Not the military. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the federal government.
Yeah, you're saying that the federal government is spending a lot of money, and that's causing that's causing inflation.
Correct.
Number one spender of our government is our military budget. That's the highest thing that we spend the most amount of money on. Can you tell me how much of our military budget is actually accounted for that we know where?
Oh no, hardly any of it. They're funneling money to Ukraine to enrich themselves and their donors, the Democrats.
You know exactly how much money we send to Ukraine. We have that all documented.
No, you don't. You have no idea where the money's going that goes to Ukraine.
We do. We know where the money is going. We have that documented. I'm asking.
No.
So our military budget is not accounted for.
Oh, I don't know. Huge. Most of it probably
has never actually survived an audit. Our Pentagon has never.
Well, Well, don't worry, because when President Trump wins election on Tuesday, he's going to bring Elon Musk to take care of that. So tell me, who are you voting for?
Elon Musk can't even take care.
Who are you voting for? Who are you voting for? Who are you voting for? You're voting for Kamala.
Yes.
Why? What is she promising to do?
It's not what she's promising to do. It's the alternative of voting for Donald Trump. I can't sit here and justify somebody who can't even control an economy after he inherited one from the previous administration. He had a good economy handed down.
Okay, so Kamala. Okay, slow down. Obama was president like 16 years ago. Okay, he's like 3 presidents ago. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Excuse me. Kamala Harris is.
As an adult, if you would let.
This is the question. Kamala Harris is saying, vote for me. I am going to do fill in the blank.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm not voting for her because of what she's going to do. I'm voting for her because I don't like the alternative.
The alternative? You mean President Trump, who says no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security, no taxes on overtime. You can deduct the interest from your car loan off of your taxes. He's going to deport the 25 million illegal criminals that are raping and murdering our women and shut down the border. He's going to lower the price of gasoline by 50% in the first year in his second term. You don't want any of that to happen.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that
Kamala has brought, Kamala has brought 25 million. What? No, he's against all women being assaulted, but Kamala Harris has.
America is crazy.
Kamala, excuse me. This is what happens when you got a liberal black guy. You know, usually liberal white guys defer to liberal white black men and don't speak their mind. Listen, Kamala Harris has brought 25 million illegals into the United States. Hundreds of thousands. Yes, the border patrol released the numbers. The border patrol released the numbers recently, and tens of thousands of them are convicted felons. Many of them are murderers.
Right now, there's nothing in this.
Well, then you're not paying attention, okay? There are 25 million illegals that she's brought here. The Border Patrol, yes, they reversed all of the border policies of Donald Trump that had the border shut down. Finishing the wall, one in particular, other than finishing the wall, was the Remain in Mexico policy, where they had to remain in Mexico and be processed through a legal thing. That's one of the major things.
And to do that.
They did that on day one.
On day one, so they repealed the stay in Mexico law.
Correct. It was an order. It was an order and agreement. I'm not sitting here for you to do your research. These are things that people know.
Be honest.
Oh, I am being 100% honest. You look it up and you'll find out. Yes, I am. Well, I don't know what you're looking at, but I know what I'm talking about, and people in the audience know. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. The brain dead for Kamala. All right, we're late for the break. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Inflation is crushing Broward families' dreams. The U.S. spends more on interest on debt than it does on national defense. This is not sustainable. Chris Eddy is a retired Air Force one-star general, a retired FBI intelligence leader, and a current Weston City commissioner who has balanced budgets. Help him stop the chaos by electing him as your next congressman in Florida's 25th district.
I'm Chris Eddy, and I approve this message.
Men, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel it. At the Bio Station, West LA, Dr. Mitch Pez, an expert in hormone replacement therapy, is here to help you reclaim your youth. Hormone replacement therapy is all natural and will restore your hormones to where they were. You'll feel younger, even get your sex back. And for women, hormone replacement pellet therapy
Now, those of you that are new to the program, make sure you subscribe, okay? And everyone else, please like the video.
Call Dr. Matez for a free consultation today at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Hi, I'm Sloan Smith. We love our Florida sunshine, but a hot house? Definitely not. At All Year, we offer same-day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year. We're South Florida's #1 for comfort because our family is serving your family all year. Call us today at 833 all year. That's 833 all year.
Call 833 all year today for free diagnostic calls. Up to 15% off repairs. Up to 30% off new HVAC system install. Terms and conditions apply.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Women's professional soccer is here.
Join us at the Fort Lauderdale United FC soccer game on November 9th. It's their Rev Your Set 954 night. So dress to impress and be part of history with South Florida's only professional women's soccer.
You're not required to call Freedom Effect, you know.
Located on the campus of Nova Southeastern University in Davie on November 9th as Fort Lauderdale United take on Tampa Bay Sun FC.
Get your tickets now at FTL.
You're welcome to call, but you don't have to. All right. You know, that last call, you hear what he mumbled? He said, well, Americans rape and kill people. You know, oh, okay. So that means people could just come here from around the world and rape, plunder, and murder, and that's okay? I mean, my goodness. I want to tell you guys about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Remember, guys, that footage of those Venezuelan prison gang members taking over that building in Colorado with the rifles and all, that video was taken from a doorbell camera. These are good cameras, guys. They catch everything. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You're going to get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your doors and windows, lifetime warranty, a backup battery, and a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call no matter where you're located. Take advantage of this incredible offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. All right, back to our very busy phones. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, it is you.
Oh, my name is Kenny. I'm calling from Wisconsin.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Wisconsin.
This is only the second time in my entire life, I'm the age of 60, that I've ever called into a radio show.
Oh, okay.
The first time was I called Rush Limbaugh.
Oh.
10 years ago.
I'm honored.
Finally, he took my call, and then my phone messed up, and I couldn't ask my question.
Oh, no.
10 years later, I'm going to ask Brian.
Yes, that's me. The question that was meant for Rush. Okay. Is the question still relevant after 10 years?
Yes, because it's called HR 4310.
Okay, what is that?
That was when, about 10 years ago, I was working, and it was a Friday evening, and Obama signed, or he either revised it or signed into law, the allowance of propaganda on the United States.
Oh, okay. What
propaganda would be for wars in other countries, but Obama made it legal for our.
Okay, so what do you suggest? So who's propagandizing?
Well, the mainstream media, but I want to know if Brian would do something that I wanted to ask Rush to do.
Yes.
Look up HR 4310.
No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that.
Well, you can't do that. But when Trump won president in 2016, and he had all these powers for executive.
See, I don't think anything. When you called Rush, I don't think your phone had problems. I think they just hung up on you. But I'll tell you, you're not working at 60. You're on. What are you? Disability? You're on disability?
Social Security disability.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, no, I figured you're on disability. Is it a psych disability? Because it sounds like it's a mental disability. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
William from Rochester Hills, Michigan.
All right, William in Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer country. Oh my goodness.
Oh yes, it's pretty in a blue state.
Yeah.
With the garbage comment there, I think we should just take it as a badge of honor there. But as far as I see it there, I've never been called garbage there from garbage.
Well, the thing with Biden calling MAGA people garbage, okay, I believe he's trying to sabotage Kamala Harris with that comment. I mean, look what he did. He took right out of the news. He took this comedian. He's the president of the United States, and he's calling people garbage. That's a bigger deal than some comedian that none of us heard of. I still don't even know his name. I don't know the comedian's name still, and he's been in the news for like 3 days. And Kamala had this. Kamala had a speech on the same stage in the same place that President Trump did on January 6th to 100,000 government workers. And you know who was not allowed to go on stage with her?
Sure.
Joe Biden, the president of the United States. She wouldn't let Joe Biden on stage with her. He was forced to, and he's in the White House right behind her. He was ticked off, and he came out and called MAGA people garbage, I believe, to sabotage her campaign.
Yeah, you do realize we're getting crickets from the Harris campaign after that comment there.
No, that's good. That's good. All right, I appreciate the call. All right, take care. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
I was thinking to myself, why do these liberals keep calling in and in? You always school them. They always sound loony left, just crazy, and it accomplishes nothing but how stupid can the Democrats get? And we got to stop asking that because they keep coming with more stuff.
Well,
to prove it.
that one guy I was talking to, I like what he says. Well, yeah, but Americans are raping and killing people. So what does that mean? Because Americans rape and kill people on occasion, unfortunately. We're against that too, by the way, in the MAGA movement. It's okay for Venezuelans to come here and do it? Is that what he's saying? That liberal logic is insane.
What I say, they get crazier and crazier, the left. It's just ridiculous. Now, I want to say to them, any liberal that calls in, why don't you go to a liberal show and talk about all the good things Harris and Biden's done? Well, you couldn't have a talk show because there's nothing to talk about. And that's the problem with the Democrats. They just want to attack Trump, but never talk about the issues, the border, the drugs, the economy. They'd avoid all those, what we should be talking about.
Well, yeah, that's, Air America Radio in the early 2000s, like in 2003, 2004, went on the air, National Liberal Talk Radio Network, and it failed because, how can you go on the air and defend liberalism when you're taking live calls like I do? It'd be impossible. It'd be very difficult.
It would expose how much lies they say because they run from the truth.
Oh, yeah. Well, but Jeff, here's the thing. I brought this up at the top of the show. What is the Democrat agenda today? Donald Trump's agenda is very open. Make America great again. And the Democrats' agenda is the Democrats' agenda is very open too. They want to abolish America. They want America to collapse. That's the Democrat agenda. Make America collapse. That's their agenda, and it's obvious.
And I think they're trying to do it economically and crash the dollar. That's what they're going to try something between now and Inauguration Day. And I said they're not going to let Trump take.
Well, they're the minority in Congress, so they got no they got no hope. It will be certified. Hey, I appreciate the call, Jeff. Take care. If you're on hold, stand by. We've got one more hour to go. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour, but I want to remind you guys of this. Medicare open enrollment period. You want to call Debbie at I Will Advisors. She'll review your policy at no charge. And no matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie from I Will Advisors can help you. Now remember this. Debbie Klatzoff, she is Debbie at I Will Advisors. The Klatzoff family have been with the Steve Kane Show since 1993, helping Steve Kane listeners with their Medicare each and every year. That's a long time. Bill Clinton, that's when Bill Clinton became president in 1993. That's amazing, isn't it? You guys remember Adam Captain Truth Klatzoff. Debbie Klatzoff is Adam's daughter-in-law. So since 1993, their family's been helping Steve Kane listeners every year with their Medicare. Give her a call, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. 2 hours down, 1 to go. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back with Steve Kane and your calls after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.
You there, Steve?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the all-year cooling weather center.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe.
Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning. This is Jeremy Simon from the All-Year Cooling Weather Center. Today we have highs in the mid-80s with cloudy skies and some wind, but very low chances of rain. So stay cool, stay dry, and have a great Wednesday.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Stop and go delays 95 north and south between 10th Avenue North past Boynton Beach Boulevard, Turnpike North and south delays past Lake Worth Road. The crash is blocking a left lane in Royal Palm Beach, Southern Boulevard eastbound at Fairgrounds Road. This traffic update is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing, yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find that thing that keeps you up at night. eBay, things people love. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Listen to the PBKC Picks Show live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And catch football Sundays in the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet plus a draft beer for just $25. And get tickets now for dinner shows Let It Be November 8th, Penny Nicks November 22nd, Christmas with the Rat Pack December 6th, and more. The Paddock is your best bet for OTB
All right.
shows and football Sundays. 140 HD TVs and 3 big screens. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com. On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, the third hour has begun. Call is on hold, standby. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning.
Oh boy, what a great day.
Well, I would like to find out what you're reading that's so great.
What are you picking up on? I mean,
Well, I saw one thing that was great that it was missing from Kamala's appearance last night. Did you notice she made no reference to Hitler or Nazis?
oh no, I didn't notice that. Really?
Well, and what do you make of that?
I guess they realized that doesn't pull well.
Exactly right. It shows everything they've done up to this point. It's an admission that it hasn't been working.
But she did an interview with ABC News, and she was asked about it. You want to hear? This is new. Okay, this is Kamala sitting down with a guy. I don't know who he is from. This was a local ABC News interview she did.
With Governor Walz yesterday. He compared Trump's rally on Sunday to that of Nazi rallies in the 30s at Madison Square Garden. Do you compare that? Do you find that a similar comparison?
Listen, this election is in 7 days, and I think the American people have a very clear choice. And on the one hand, you have Donald Trump, who is constantly fanning the flames of division and hate who is trying to have the American people point their fingers at each other, or my leadership, which is founded
nothing.
on a lived and experience that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Okay, so another gobbledygook thing, but
Watered down. I mean, there was no reference to Nazi. I didn't hear her use the word Nazi.
No.
Like they sat down before the thing started and said, everything we've done up till this point, the whole approach we're taking with the campaign's no.
Well,
let's cut out all the Nazi.
Here's another clip of an interview she did yesterday.
What's your message to Michigan voters in terms of the economy? We have auto workers who are being laid off and those who fear that they might be laid off. The average person can't afford groceries or their rent. And recent polls in Michigan show that Michigan voters believe that Donald Trump would do a better job with handling the economy and bringing jobs back. What do you say to that?
Well, let's start with this. I come from the middle class, and I'll never forget.
Here we go.
My mother worked very hard.
What does that mean?
Time I was a teenager, was able to save up for our first home.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, that's her answer to people that can't afford groceries.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But again, that was a very tame version of what she's been doing.
Yeah, no Nazi stuff.
No Nazi stuff, which is the great news. It shows that everything that's gone up to this point, they recognize has been ineffective, and they're totally changing direction.
Yeah. It's
good news for us.
I think the Nazi thing works in our favor, too. Nobody buys any of this garbage. I mean, she's done.
Their admission that that's true.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Is it me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, my name's Rob.
Okay.
From Georgia.
Rob from Georgia.
From Georgia. What's up, Rod?
Yeah. I want to know, I seen online that, like, Kamala and Biden had signed off on, like, this bill or something.
Oh, the HR. The one you called the Marshall, yeah.
Funny accent.
Yeah, that's great advice.
All right? So pretend talk like a human being, not like this phony Neanderthal accent you're faking.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just talking like I talk.
Maybe he's high, Steve.
Do that for fun?
Maybe he's high.
For that.
No, man. I'm not high. I put my kids on the school bus this morning.
Oh, you put your kids on the school bus. Oh my goodness. Well, at least you didn't drive them to school. All right, appreciate the call. Oh, did you see the news story about Comey? James Comey? Oh. See, this is one of the reasons that the establishment and the deep state are in such a panic. He had spies inside the Trump campaign in the 2016 campaign. It just came out last night. He had this was before Trump was president. It was the 2016 campaign. He had undercover FBI agents, female agents, infiltrate the 2016 Trump campaign as honeypots, which means good-looking women to seduce men. This is in the post-millennial. A protected whistleblower. See, this came from a whistleblower, FBI whistleblower. A protected whistleblower disclosure sent to the House Judiciary Committee has revealed that the FBI began targeting Donald Trump in June of 2015, shortly after he announced his presidential run, in an off-the-books investigation ordered by Comey. The disclosure, which has been reviewed by the Washington Times, states that 2 undercover FBI agents were directed to act as honeypots. So he sent good-looking, sexy female FBI agents to have sex with people inside the Trump campaign, is what I take from that. 2 undercover FBI agents were directed to act as honeypots and infiltrate the high levels of Trump's campaign. The undercover agents traveled with Trump and his campaign staff. The agent personally knew that Comey had ordered the investigation against Trump. They got this whistleblower, and that Comey had personally directed it. The operation did not appear to target a specific crime, the Washington Times reported, but rather agents were on a fishing expedition to find incriminating evidence on Trump. The whistleblower disclosure states that the investigation had no predicated or foundation. Comey personally directed this off-the-books investigation. So this, I'm guessing, Steve, might be the real reason that Trump fired him. He found out about this, and he kept it it was classified. Involved in helping Comey execute the probe was the Deputy Director Dave Bowditch, an assistant director in charge of the Washington field office of the FBI, the whistleblower said. Targeted by the honeypot, undercover agents was Trump's campaign advisor, George Papadopoulos. Remember Papadopoulos? Yeah, he's the one that has the sexy European wife. Papadopoulos pleaded guilty, if you remember, to false statements. The whistleblower said the secret investigation was closed after a newspaper obtained a photo of one of the FBI honeypot agents, and they were going to publish it. So this is insane. See, think about all the things that they've been doing against Donald Trump that we don't even know about. This is the first I heard of this was last night when this is a highly illegal investigation.
He's going to pursue all these things?
Oh yeah, this is why this is why Comey got fired. I'm telling you, Trump found out about this, and this is why he fired him. Who does this guy think he is to do something like that? And that's why you see all these people on television saying he's going to lock people up because they've been doing all kinds of crime.
Exactly right.
This is entrapment, and it was an illegal investigation that he was running off the books, and he was honeypot means seducing men, sex. So we sent hot women in, and I got to tell you, George Papadopoulos' wife is like a supermodel, a European supermodel, if you've seen her. So for him to be seduced, these have to be like some of the hottest women in America, or certainly working for the government. So he ordered sexy women to not just infiltrate and spy on the Trump campaign, but to have sex with people on the campaign for him. This is some hardcore illegal stuff going on. Very illegal. And that's why there's such a panic among the mainstream legacy media crowd. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Nope, hold on. You're on. Yeah, go ahead.
And
yeah, I took the call because I knew it was you. Okay, it's one call per show. You've already called in. You're not gonna get back on the air. Okay? We're not interested in talking with you. You're boring. I know you're boring. We're not interested in talking to you. I wouldn't mind if you never called again, quite frankly. But you're not. This is the last time we're going to speak. If you get through again, I'm just going to hang up on you and dump the call, and no one will hear it. All right? You're welcome to listen, though. Okay, you're welcome to listen. You can listen, but you suck as a call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, we're getting a run today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? This is the liberal response, Steve. They're in a panic. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay. Once. Yeah. Oh, yes, you're on the air.
Hey, I just want to say my name's...
Oh, yeah, Jeremy. Yes, Jeremy from Omaha. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness.
I wanted to keep it kind of short. I grew up in, with a very bad family, very...
Yeah. What did you? How bad can a neighborhood be in Nebraska? Oh my! We're getting a run of winners, Steve. Oh my God! Open phones is on Friday, people. All right. Our number 1-888-465-2631. We were doing so well, Steve. I don't know what you brought these dregs with you on the phones. I don't know what's going on. We had a run of some good callers, but now we're like, these are. I don't know, Steve, what these callers are. 1-888-465-2631. All week. I mean, this is like bottom of the barrel quality today. Oh my goodness. I don't expect much from people in Omaha.
Just to try the subject here briefly, did you have any observations about the results that have been announced so far?
What results other than turnout? They're not counting the votes yet.
Is that true?
They don't count the votes before the election. The election's on Tuesday. Today's Wednesday.
Idea of how many have returned back?
The Republican turnout has been a record high. Record high. This is the highest early voting turnout in the history of the Republican Party.
No description of the Democratic turnout?
The Democrat Party is at the lowest level in history of the early voter turnout. Historic low turnout for Democrats. And a lot of those Democrats, remember, are voting for Trump, so they're in big trouble.
The bag and the bags.
I guess, and I guess it took all the good callers with it. Let's try again. I'm going to take a call or two, then we'll break. And if we're with the dregs, we might have to do a purge and start over with the callers. Yes, you're on the air.
Tina from Boca Raton.
Oh, good. Somebody that's alive. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Steve? How you doing, Brian? Woohoo! Listen.
Oh my goodness.
Ask you, what do you think of the? Sorry about that. What do you think of the military decision as far as votes?
What's their decision? What's their decision? The military. I don't know the decision you're talking about.
Oh, you don't know? Okay. They're going to go over those.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, it sounds like you have good things to say, but the phone is bad. Oh my goodness! Woo, down the tubes today. All right, listen. People are on edge, right? We're 6 days away from the re-election of our favorite president, Donald Trump. So a lot of people are. It sounds like some people have started drinking. Steve, is what's happened, and getting high.
Let's talk a little bit about Kamala. What did you think of her performance yesterday?
It was a disaster.
Say it is the most disgusting interview that I have ever heard.
Wait, are we talking about her speech last night?
Disgusting. I've never been so repulsed watching somebody speak on television as Kamala. I mean, she's just a total.
Well, it was an attempt. What they tried to do is make it appear as if there's a large grassroots following of support for Kamala Harris, that 100,000 traveled to D.C. to listen to her speak. And when we found out, they were all government workers from Washington, D.C. that were let out of work and directed to the mall. That was the bureaucracy of the United States. Exactly. They were there to hold on to their jobs. And it's widely reported that they were all government D.C. workers. And my opinion is that pisses people off when they see there are 100,000 government workers out there, probably still on the clock. Yeah, exactly. If you're on hold, stand by, and I might want to add something to that. If you're on hold, stand by and sober up, okay? We're going to take our break. There's more to talk about, and we'll attempt to go back to the phones. This is every once in a while, because we talk about, all the calls are screenless. We screen live on the air, right? So every once in a while, we need to do a control segment or two just to prove to you that the calls are screenless, because if they were screenless, would any of these weirdos, freaks, and lowlives have gotten on the air on any other show? I don't think so. All right, we'll take our break and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Oh my goodness. Welcome, everyone. We'll be back shortly.
stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects.
We'll be back right after this, guys.
From repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches. And every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slip tile, and flat roof systems. So come on and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at reportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show. FM, Boca on 93 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian, Steve Kane here. Now, did you watch President Trump's rally in Pennsylvania last night, Steve? Oh, it was a good one, and I want to play this one moment. This is when Marco Rubio, one of our great senators here in Florida, came up on stage and shared with President Trump news that broke while he was speaking about Joe Biden calling us garbage. It was pretty dramatic. Listen.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I have breaking news for you, Mr. President. You may not have heard this. Just moments ago, Joe Biden stated that our supporters are garbage. Are garbage. He's talking about the Border Patrol. He's talking about nurses. He's talking about teachers. He's talking about everyday Americans who...
And he's also talking about the mothers of those girls that were at Mar-a-Lago with President Trump yesterday who were murdered by Kamala's dreamers, those illegals from Venezuela. They're garbage too, according to Biden.
Their country and want to dream big again and support you, Mr. President. And I hope their campaign is about to apologize for what Joe Biden just said. We are not garbage. We are patriots who love America. And thank you for running, Mr. President.
Wow. Very dramatic. Now President Trump's going to take to the mic to respond.
That's terrible. That's what it says. That's what it says.
People are pissed.
So you have, remember Hillary, she said deplorable, and then she said irredeemable, right? But she said deplorable, that didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right? But he doesn't know, you have to please forgive him. Please forgive him, for he not knoweth what he said.
Oh, it's pretty bad, Steve. I mean, that's, Trump never says anything negative about voters, about the American people. He talks about,
not him.
yeah, well, no, it's important to point that out. You never hear Trump attack or badmouth the American people, the American voters. Never, not once. And all the Democrats do is call us deplorables, garbage, Nazis, white supremacists. Even black MAGA are white supremacists. You know, even people like J.D. Vance in an interracial marriage are white supremacists. That's all they do is demonize, attack, and call us names. This is pretty bad. All right, I'm looking at a full board of calls. I'm reluctant to go to the phones after the quality of that last segment, but let's see what we can do here. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Eric in Alabama.
Larry, what's up?
Eric.
Eric. All right, Eric in Alabama. What's up?
Yeah. All right, yeah, I guess I'm garbage too.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the polls day before yesterday. I voted for Trump, of course. And my fiance, she's voting for Trump today.
Great.
And we're about to head to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, We're down in South Alabama. But anyways, yeah, I just proposed to her. She accepted. So the Trump rally.
Congratulations. Oh, you proposed during the Trump. Congratulations.
Yeah. So, I appreciate that. That's about all I had today. Hey, great show today, by the way.
Well, Joe Biden thinks you and your bride are garbage.
Yeah, I know. I started to say this is garbage Eric in Alabama.
Yeah, there you go. Garbage. Okay, appreciate the call. Yeah. Garbage doesn't have the same ring as deplorable. I don't mind calling this deplorable, but I don't want to be garbage, Brian. I don't know. I don't like that as much. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Mike from Coral Springs.
Yep.
Mike, go ahead.
Good morning. I got a great idea for President Trump when he gets back into office about these illegal immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
They came from here from every other country, okay? How did they get here? Through Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Make Mexico pay to take them back, because basically all Mexico was doing was directing traffic. They got invaded themselves and did nothing. They're an accessory.
That's true. You are right.
Excellent. Appreciate that.
They can pay us back. They can pay us back with Corona. Oh man, you drink Corona, Steve? Oh yeah, you don't drink it. You don't drink anymore. You've given up the vice of booze, but not gambling.
It's the source of income.
You know, I don't want to say who on the air this is, but somebody that works here at the radio station has picked up the vice of gambling, and they wanted to know your Super Bowl pick, because you always pick you always make your Super Bowl pick.
Third year in a row.
Kansas City?
I have two, Kansas City, and the other is the Detroit Lions.
Okay. Oh, you bet on both. Okay. Yeah, Steve is such a degenerate gambler. You bet on the Super Bowl every year before the football season starts, and you win a lot. I am shocked at how much you win when you bet before the season even starts. I don't know how you do.
City, it's easy to win.
Okay. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. My phone got cut off.
Oh yeah, that was that was me hanging up on you. Yeah, like that. What's going on? We were doing so good. The quality control. You know what I should do with these people? I should give them the number to call into the Joyce Kaufman radio show. Do they have a phone line connected to that studio? Do you know, Jeremy? I haven't heard a call there in a long time. I don't know if they bothered. Maybe they disconnected the phone. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break, but I want to remind you guys, it's Medicare open enrollment period here. It's that time of year again. The one time of year you can make changes to your Medicare. You want to call Debbie at I Will Advisors. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie can help you with your Medicare. And her family, the Klatzoff family, have been with the Steve Kane Show since 1993, helping Steve Kane listeners with their Medicare every year. And I know a lot of you longtime listeners remember Adam Captain Truth Klatzoff. Debbie is his daughter-in-law, and she took over the company after his passing. So give her a call. You know Al Knight, Steve? You know Al Knight. Do you know Al Knight took his mother to see Debbie to review her Medicare policy. She has a supplement she was paying too much for. His mother, because when Debbie reviewed her policy, got her set up with the right supplement, Debbie from I Will Advisors saved Al Knight's mother $400 a month. That's almost $5,000 a year. I told Al Knight, that's like a car payment. He's like, yeah, $400 a month. Isn't that something? That's wild. And by the way, it's free, right? She does that for you for nothing, right? She'll review your policy, make sure you're all set up. Here's her number. Remember, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie from I Will Advisors can help you with your Medicare. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. We'll be right back.
Cooling same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning. This is Jeremy Simon from the All Year Cooling Weather Center. Today we have highs in the mid-80s with cloudy skies and some wind, but very low chances of rain. So stay cool, stay dry, and have a great Wednesday.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Turnpike North and South, slowdowns past Lake Worth Road, 95 North, delays from Forest Hill Boulevard past Okeechobee Boulevard, southbound slow from 10th Avenue North past Point Beach Boulevard. This traffic update is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Check engine light got you spooked? Drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change today. No appointment needed. Get a friendly expert oil change from their team in about 15 minutes. They're quick but never rushed. Visit
Well, even from the White House, he may have done some pretty significant harm in the final week of the campaign. Just listen to this, and you be the judge.
And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage.
Now listen, guys. Robert Allen Miltenberg's new book is available on Amazon, The Sound of Light. There's a link in the description of the video to the book, or you can go to Amazon and search for The Sound of Light from author Robert Allen Miltenberg. Robert Allen Miltenberg is in the chat all the time, usually in the 8 o'clock hour. He might, I don't know if he's in there now. But order that book. There's a link in the description of the video. It's a political book about science fiction, music, and politics. Great book, The Sound of Light, from author Robert Allen Miltenberg on Amazon. There's a direct link in the video description, or you can just search on Amazon for it. It's free in Kindle Unlimited, by the way. Good deal. One opening on the board. All right, here we go.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, there's only one opening on the board. Think about it, Steve. 1 week from today, we'll be celebrating the re-election of President-elect President Trump.
Pre-presumption.
You don't sound convinced.
I think at best case scenario, at the very least, you think there's any way that they're going to election results?
Yes.
It?
Yes. Well, I don't know if it'll be it.
This incredible army of agents that the Democrats decide to challenge results.
I don't know. I don't think they have a team of lawyers like we do. No. I've been telling you guys for 2 months, because that's how long Kamala's been in the race, that she's a sacrifice candidate. We'll find out.
My position, just to make it clear, is not that she's going to be able to successfully turn around, but she is going to hang him up in court and make the effort to try. I see no way we get up the next day. Unless the only way that can happen is if there's
if he comes in with all the battlegrounds, there comes a point, and
he's won decisively every battleground except maybe one, then they might have that would discourage them.
And picks up a blue state or two along the way by surprise.
We can count on that.
We can't count on anything other than Trump's final victory. That's.
All right, I think that's realistic.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go back to the phone. There's only one opening on the board. Let's go. You're on the air.
Brian from Deerfield.
Yes, Brian. Oh, a person with a brainwave. Awesome.
Never have I been more prouder to be called a deplorable piece of garbage. I think there's room for a T-shirt on there, so we should all start wearing these T-shirts. Yeah, it looks like Joe wants to take down Kamala. It looks like they all want to take each other down.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It's what you would call it, at best, passive-aggressive.
See, what this is, I mentioned this earlier. I want to mention it again. I don't know if you heard this, Steve. There's been rumors that recently they went to Joe to try to get him to resign so that she would be the sitting president leading up to the election to try to give her a boost. And that pissed him off more. They had a coup, and he's looking at these polls. He would be doing better in the polls than her against Trump. Not that he would win, but he'd be doing better. And they had a coup, and then they tried to get him to resign. He's like doubly pissed.
Could anybody do worse than her in her campaign? If we scripted this out, I mean, this is it's like a dream. It's fantastic. Watching the collapse.
It's a worst nightmare.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, she is awful on every level of communication. I think she's the worst candidate I've ever seen.
By
ever.
far. Hands away. No one even close.
And this thing she did last night, it was stupid, but it's so stupid it had to be sabotage. First, we talked about earlier, right? 100,000 government workers from the D.C. bureaucracy. That just pisses everybody off. But she was on the same stage in the same spot that President Trump was at on January 6th speaking with that speech. Why would they put her on the same stage in the same spot on top of it? You understand what I mean? It's just, how could he, I thought.
That's not going to work.
Joe Biden, yeah.
I think Joe just basically goes where he wants.
No, I'm talking about Kamala's speech last night. Any half-intelligent person would say, we can't have Kamala, we can't have the vice president on the same stage in the same spot that Donald Trump was on January 6th, right? How can we call what he did an insurrection and then be from the same spot after we said Madison Square Garden, is not... Yeah.
Joe is, at this point, still doing what they tell him to do.
Yeah.
You can assume that.
If they're trying to channel like a remembrance of an uprising, the only uprising in this country is against the Democratic Party and especially Kamala and Joe. I mean, I don't know what the heck they're doing. There's no strategy. There's shit.
What they're doing is the presidents and the vice Pence started a new trend. Okay, presidents and vice presidents used to be a team, and now they betray their presidents. So Pence with Trump, and now Kamala has betrayed Biden, right? The coup to take his candidacy away. And so you know what I mean? So the new thing with, yeah.
I'm confused. Are you assuming at this point, as of this morning, are you assuming that Biden is doing what they're telling him to do?
No. He's on a revenge tour. But
at these things, just does what he feels like.
Kamala, but
shows up where
he's a loose cannon.
Like
he's a loose cannon.
That's the phrase.
Kamala betrayed Biden, right? The coup. She took the nomination from him without getting a single vote, and he knows it, and he's pissed. And then if this rumor is true that they tried to get him to resign so she'd become the president and be president for a couple of weeks to try to give her a boost, that would extra piss him off.
Hope that he can. I mean, they hope they can control him, but it's not going their direction.
How much damage are we being seen that the Democratic Party is doing to themselves with this implosion long term after this election?
Oh, they're not going to recover for a long time. No.
I think so.
Because I'll tell you why. There's several reasons why, but one of them, President Trump was talking in Madison Square Garden that this next term is going to be America's golden age. And yeah. And I thought it was interesting that one guy that came up in Madison Square Garden, I keep forgetting his name, the guy that introduced Elon. And he was I can't remember his name, but I don't know. Elon Musk is the face of that operation, but he made a good point. He said America did best before we had an income tax, right? The turn of the 18th to the 19th century during that, the Gilded Age, right? The Gilded Age. We had no income tax, and everyone's talking about no income tax, and that I'm so glad that that's picking. Now I don't think that's going to happen, but the taxes are going to be dramatically reduced. President Trump's going to use that as a negotiating tool to get the tax brackets like almost wiped out to nothing.
They're going to be replaced by the tariffs.
That sounds like a great idea to me. And what
much leverage dealing with everybody. I don't think people understand that. It's the leverage we get from those tariffs is incredible. Yes. It's like a bat you can use. It's just incredible leverage, and people need to understand the thinking behind this. If you look at his economic plans, they're excellent. They will work. They will bring this country back, and those tariffs are a big component.
Well, see, what's going to happen in 4 years from now, when J.D. Vance is running with, who knows who his running mate will be, Byron Donalds, who knows, Tulsi, who knows. But things are going to be going so well in this country economically that whoever runs as the second MAGA candidate is going to win. Yeah.
Trump's history is he promises it, and the next day it happens.
It looks like we've already got J.D. Vance locked in for 4 years, because I do think it's going to be a dramatic turnaround, and he'll be the recipient.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, listen. Appreciate the call. All right. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. Donald from Long Island.
Hey, Donald.
Hey, Donald.
I was in your area yesterday, guys. But anyway, I just wanted to make a quick comment when I was listening to that half-ass speech last night. About as J6, like you were referring.
Yeah, Kamala.
And right. And when she says, Trump's going to bring a list of his enemies to the White House, and I think to myself, that's exactly what they do. They arrested everybody.
Listen. Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. I read the book when Obama got elected. Accuse your enemy of doing what you're doing. That's like the number one rule.
I love that. Excellent point. But anyway, I just wanted to make a quick comment on that. And then,
all right.
Very excited about the election. And by the way, up here in New York, the lines are around the block for all the polling places. It's been like that.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for the call. You know what they called her speech last night? The campaign. It was her closing argument, they called it. They're trying to use a lawyer reference. Her closing argument. What was that? It sounded like her closing argument was vote for Trump. Is what it sounded like to me. I want to tell everyone about Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment. For the 6th time, Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain. It's amazing, Steve. See, when I went in there with the most recent injury last time I went in was for my right shoulder. This time was for my left shoulder. I'm out of shoulders. But I was in so much pain, Steve. I couldn't get my wallet out of my back pocket without being in massive pain. And 2 treatments of Dr. Appleton's laser wave pain treatment, my pain is gone. I ran into 3 listeners when I was there having my treatment done. Another guy was having his shoulder done. A guy was getting his knee done. There was someone there for arthritis. I forgot what part of their body they had the arthritis in. And, with Dr. Appleton, his laser wave pain treatment works. It's 100% painless. There's no injections, no shots, no downtime. And, of course, it works, as I said, which is most important. Also, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. Give Dr. Appleton a call, all right? I used to think that pain was just part of growing old. I just thought that's what happened when you got older. You were in pain. That's not the case. Pain is not a part of growing old. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking today?
Metals looking amazing still, Brian. The gold setting all new record highs yesterday and today. The gold highs were, as of last week, $2,758. Yesterday we saw a close up $32.80, setting a new record high of $2,774.60. Silver up 75 cents, closing out the day at $34.40. Platinum was up $16 at $1,048, and palladium was down $2 at $1,198. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $2,772 all the way up to $2,790, and right now we're at $2,782 the ounce, up $7.40. Silver up down 35 cents right now at $34.05. Platinum down $23 at $1,025, and palladium down $53 at $11.40. Gold continues to outshine all of its sister metals, but the market is revved up towards getting through 2,800.
Wow. What did you say gold's at right now?
$2,782 the ounce.
Oh my God, that's what I thought you said. These are numbers that just like, what? Now I want to talk to you a little bit today, William Youngerman, about, people can do all their transactions with you over the phone, no matter where they're located in America or the world. And I know people see ads on TV and all these places. And I know these places, they charge a lot more for their gold, silver, and the other metals than you do. But a lot of, I don't think people realize this. You call these numbers and things you see on television and online, you're calling some stranger and you're giving them all kinds of confidential private information that they sell to God knows who about sending gold and silver and things to your house. That doesn't sound too smart to me. William Youngerman, you've been in business since 1967. And can you tell everyone, when they do business with you over the phone and through the mail, how private it is and how you don't share their information?
That's 100% correct. You call us, you lock in a price on whatever metal you want. You wire the funds, and the metal is in your hands within a day or two. We do not call people. There's no silver-tongued salesman going to call you up in the middle of the night trying to talk you into something. You make your own decisions, and we advise only when asked.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's the phone ringing already. So give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. His address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. And William Youngerman, when you mail people their gold, their silver, their platinum, whatever they're buying, how does that work?
Either Federal Express overnight, or it goes registered, fully insured mail. Either way, insured by us.
That's right. You hear that, guys? So you can find William Youngerman's address and phone number on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com. That's WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this.
The social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. Yeah, so it's so... Kamala's a poser. She's always posing this thing, her closing argument, like she's a lawyer. And I've been telling you guys for months now, there has not been a single photograph or video of her in a courtroom arguing a case in front of a jury.
Disliked a political figure and been so contemptuous.
Yeah, she's bad.
A political figure is Kamala. She's just in a class by herself.
Oh, yeah, she's a real lowlife. And, the thing, a lot of things about her, I don't think she's ever argued a case in front of a jury. In California, all these high-profile cases are out of California, not because it's celebrities, it's because they allow cameras in all of the courtrooms in California, right? And that's why a lot of these, serial killer trials, not just celebrity trials, are so famous, is because not every state allows, like this one guy that killed all those college students. You get nothing out of that, right? So for there not to be a video or a photograph of her in a courtroom arguing a case in front of a jury when she's desperate to act like an accomplished woman and attorney, her final speech, the closing argument, I don't think she's ever argued a case in front of a jury. And that's why we haven't seen it.
Likeable. She just makes my flesh crawl.
Yeah, and this whole thing that she's turning a new page in a new generation. It's also important to point out she is a baby boomer. Yeah, that's right. She's trying to pass herself off as like a 45-year-old woman. Look at her neck, okay? She turned 60 years old a week and a half ago. She's a 60-year-old lady, 2 years away from Social Security retirement age. She is a baby boomer generation, not a 45-year-old woman. They hit her birthday. If she had turned 50, that birthday, it would have been a week of celebrations for Kamala. They have hid her own birthday because they're trying to pass her. Everything about her and Tim Walz is fake. Totally fake. All right. Even though, did you see when Tim Walz was playing the video game with AOC, Madden? Did you see this over the week? Yeah, they're trying to. Well, I don't know if you know this part. His controller for the game was not connected to the game console. He wasn't really playing. He wasn't even really playing. I am not kidding. I'm not kidding. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Steve from Sunrise.
Yes.
What's up?
Hello, Steve. Hey, good morning, Steve. How are you?
Good.
Hey, listen. I know Trump's going to win. I already casted my vote early, got it in.
But get to the but.
Concerned though because the Democratic Party, they're almost cannibal. I do agree. I do believe Joe Biden did that on purpose to sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would he say that? I mean,
and Biden took that comedian about Puerto Rico. That's forgotten now, because
Brian, you made a great point. Everybody should be thanking him because he is bringing light to a problem that has been ignored for quite some time. So when you said that, I was like, he's right about that. But nobody's given that. Nobody gave you credit for that one.
No, you did. Thank you.
Well, the second thing I'm concerned about is, you said they're in panic mode. There's been 3 confirmed assassination attempts on probably who is going to be the best president of the United States.
Yeah. Plus the Iranian assassination squads are in the country. Hannity talked to Trump about that last night.
And what was you said? Maybe possibly, if you wanted to count it, possibly the air.
Mm-hmm.
What is desperation? I mean, they're not going to stop. I'm wondering if you know the answer. Maybe Steve does. Do they beef up Trump's security?
His security is insane. Let me tell you, a couple of times, without giving a lot of details away, I got, I don't even know if I told you about, I got invited to Mar-a-Lago last week.
Yeah, I heard you say you didn't go last week.
Don't be so sure about that. I had to go through a security check, much bigger than I had to the last time I went to Mar-a-Lago. I have run there's an army inside, by the way. There's an army inside. There is a large army inside. I have run into President Trump's motorcade twice in the last couple of weeks. Mar-a-Lago to where Trump Force One is on Southern Boulevard, okay? Prior to the last few weeks, he had a very small motorcade. They didn't shut down the roads. They shut down all the not only do they shut down Southern Boulevard, they shut down the exits to I-95, not just at Southern, but the exits to the north and to the south during rush hour. There's a police presence larger than it's larger than when he was in his first term, the security detail. They have helicopters all over the place.
Said, I mean, what am I looking at him hanging out a McDonald's window, handing out? I'm sure they secured the.
They don't show you. Listen, if you guys that follow me on YouTube, since they shot President Trump, I haven't done any videos showing Mar-a-Lago because I don't want to show the security. Okay, you don't see the security. I've seen it. The security, I'm telling you, the security is tighter than when he was in his first term. He is very well protected. And part of that is they know he's coming back. So a lot of these government people, they don't want to get fired. But the security, I'm telling you, the security around him is beyond description large.
I think everybody should vote for him because what these people don't understand is he's a visionary. What he sees is our country being the best country in the world, which it already is, but he sees it being better.
Mm-hmm.
About energy independency, which is key to get everything, the tariffs, combine those two, you could say goodbye to tax.
And think about this: when they cut out all this government spending, this Elon Musk thing that they're talking about. President Trump told Hannity last night that we'll have a balanced budget just from that. Having a balanced budget has got to be a big boom for the American economy when we don't have the debt. Yeah. All right, listen, we got to run. Thank you for the call. I want to tell people about Game Day Men's Health. You know, before I started my testosterone treatment with Game Day Men's Health, they tested my testosterone level. When you go for your initial consultation, they'll test your testosterone level right there in the office, and they'll give it to you in just a few minutes. My testosterone level was so low. I mean, that guy that I saw with the boobs and the mustache at the pet store I was telling you guys about the other day, his testosterone's probably higher than what mine was. Okay, the guy with the boobs. That's how low my testosterone was. And I knew I wasn't feeling well. I was very depressed. I was having a lot of anxiety. I felt sick. It was my testosterone. Now, I started my testosterone therapy a couple of months ago with Game Day Men's Health. 2 weeks ago, they tested my testosterone again. My testosterone level is that of a 20-year-old. Isn't that something? And I'm 53, guys, and I have the testosterone level of a 20-year-old. Not a 21-year-old, a 20-year-old, with everything that comes along with that. And it's amazing. And I know those of you that listen to me on the air or watch me on YouTube or listen to my podcast, have you not noticed a difference in me since I started testosterone therapy? I think I have changed a lot. I have energy. I have everything back that they all tell you you'll have back when you have your testosterone levels restored, and I feel great. The consultation is free. I'm going to give you their number. Give them a call. Guys, having low testosterone, you notice I don't say low T like all these other guys do. Having low testosterone is part of the aging process, okay? You don't have to live life like that. Get rid of that belly fat. Get your sex drive back. Get your erections back, okay? Here's the number. 56. It's nothing to be embarrassed of. I'm not embarrassed that I had low testosterone. 561-355-5341. 561-355-5341. That's 561-355-5341. All right, let's go back to the phones are on fire, Steve. You want to go 3 more hours? I'm just kidding. By the way, is this your last day, Jeremy, today? Okay, Jeremy's been filling in for Mike, our board op. Thanks. You've been doing a great job. Remember those days when we had board ops that used to sabotage the show, Steve? Oh, my goodness. Those days are over. The guy that used to hang up on all the callers, the one guy that used to turn the heat on. Oh, it was just, So the one guy that used to turn the microphones off and pretend they were broke. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We've had a long run of... So we got great board ops now, so I want to always praise them. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, that's me.
Actually, a huge supporter and fan of you guys. Further,
Yeah. Well, that's good. All right, we're glad you're supporting Trump. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, you're on the air.
Yes, sir. Steve, good morning. Brian, good morning. I just got off the phone with the superintendent. We used to work in the Keys together, side by side, hand in hand, right-hand man to him. He's in Buffalo, New York now.
Huh?
And I kind of threw a joke out there about you're going to vote for Ophelia. He says, yeah, I'm going to have to probably because the other guy's an idiot. Oh, my God. We went on and we started talking. He's bad for the country. I'm like, I was making $1,000 a week as a superintendent, as a punch-out carpenter, and I saw my paycheck every week go up $18.50. I said that's almost $75 or so a month. $75 a month paid my phone bill immediately from the Trump tax.
We're almost at. You got 20 seconds, caller.
Well, the last thing is that he gets his news from the Buffalo newspaper, and he says all my info about the whistleblowers, FBI spying on Trump and all that. He says, you believe all that stuff? And I didn't know what to say.
Yes.
Broken. I just wanted to commiserate and get a little.
All right. Well, tell him about this show. We'll red pill him. All right.
I'll text him the.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh.
All right, take care. Appreciate. Oh, by real quick, Steve. My mother called me yesterday. She voted for President Trump. It is the first time my mother has voted for a Republican in her life. First time she voted for a Republican in her life. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's about time, Mom. But it's the inflation. She goes to the grocery store. She spends a boatload of money. She's got no food. The cart's empty. All right, we're out of time for today. Tomorrow, oh boy, another great day tomorrow. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 a.m.
WSFS 104.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, thanks for watching. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, okay? And those of you that are already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video if you don't mind. All right, take care. See ya.